We are live at CollectCo, and we're on time tonight. Finally, a night where I can say we're on time. Just kidding, we are almost 2 hours late, but I did say last night I didn't know what we were doing tonight, and so I have a lot of excuses. So I'm probably going to need a lot of people's help tonight sharing and let everybody know when we're live. So let me find the feed, and we'll get started. Sorry it's late, but we'll have a show. Hey, we're here. We'll sell you records at least for 2 hours or an hour or something. So y'all know we're going to be live. I'd almost decided not to have one, but I just don't do that. I like to be here doing something. So what's that noise outside? Okay, let's see. Let's go there, and let's go here. So we got Alex, Kevin, Chris, Ken, Scotty, Randy, Jeff. Jeff says he lives in the CollectCo world. I do too. Paul sent me some hot pictures. I'm going to make a quick post. And let me save these. Because if he's got them priced, we're going to show them. Let me get all these saved. And I'm just going to make them in a... I'm not going to frame them or anything. I'm just going to make them in a post. And go here. We got Pete, Paul. Paul's doing his radio show. I kind of thought the same thing. When we knew we were going to be late, I also thought at the split second, wow, Paul could start, but he's doing his radio show right now. He's live on the radio in Nashville. So I still hadn't shared that. He sent me the link to the archive. He's got a really good show going. We were listening to it before we went live. He was playing he plays a lot of deep cuts from the 60s, psychedelia, but he was playing some stuff that I know, one of my favorite songs. So, let's see. All right, I hope I copied that link. Let me copy it again just in case I didn't. I just posted in our group 16 pictures, hot pictures for tonight. I'm going to share the link there now. I'm also going to go over here to YouTube and get it shared on Instagram and also get it shared there. So Wednesday night sometime is a good night to start late. If we start late on Wednesday, sometimes it's a good thing. I drove by, coming to town, I drove by several churches, and one of them was letting out, one of the big ones, and I know some people get in and they tune in after they get home from that. So, yeah, I'm almost done sharing. I'm now currently on Instagram. Oop, I don't want to go live. I wish I could on Instagram. We're going to go to our story. Maybe Restream can figure that out one day. Let's do the Beach Boys as our hot picture link. And let's go live now as there. Once again, sorry we're late. Let's see. Going to try to share this link just a couple more places with some people. Late night Wednesday. Let me get this link. I think I seen where some people were commenting on old posts like, where's the stream at? And I can't find those comments now. So anyway, let's get started. Let me go over here to Chrome and pull up Restream Chat. And boom, there we are. Okay, so if you haven't already, please do me a major favor and share the stream. A lot of people may have given up on us by now, but if you haven't and you can still share for us, that would be great. So I've got my chat working. I'm ready to show some records. I have our new vinyl arrivals, and I have our newest vintage arrivals. And it's already 9 o'clock. By now we're like halfway through the show, but we're starting. And I'm going to see what we have over here in our Japanese bin. Might get some auctions started right away. Stevie Wonder, John Wayne, Ray Charles, and Milt Jackson. Y&T, Return of the Jedi, Star Wars, Ghostbusters. Wow, that's some good Japanese auctions. I don't know if we need to do those tonight or not. Depends on how many people we have watching. So I'm watching from on the airplane back to Maryland. So John's leaving Tennessee. I hope you had a good stay. Hello, Craig. Hello, Neil. And everybody else has said hi. Does your store have specific categories? Not really. We've got a Elvis bin, a Beatles bin, a Frank Sinatra bin. My mom has attempted a couple country bins, and we have a little bit of a soundtrack. So that's what's going on. I'm not even going to start up with a warm-up bin. Let's go straight to our bin of new vinyl for tonight. Paul's got us some new vintage stuff priced, and we got stuff from last night that we hadn't got to yet. But let me show you our newest new vinyl arrivals. Our newest new vinyl arrivals are Eric Clapton Unplugged. And I know this album's been out before on vinyl, but this is a new release that was a pre-order. The street date for this is Friday. So this is Eric Clapton Unplugged. It says the best-selling live album of all time, which I've never thought about that, but I'm assuming it is, according to this hype sticker. The best-selling live album of all time. $44.99. We have 5 available. 6 Grammy Awards. Album of the Year, Best Rock Male Vocal Performance, Best Rock Song for Layla, Record of the Year and Song of the Year, Best Male Pop Vocal Performance for Tears in Heaven. This is now a Diamond certified album. Over 10 million copies sold. Wow, I didn't realize that there was that many copies of Unplugged sold. I didn't realize it was the best-selling live album. That is incredible. So that is $44.99. That's technically, like I said, a new release for Friday. They've reissued it again. $44.99. We had a pre-order on that, which was John Smetzer, Tracy McFadden, Matt Algram, Darren Wortman, Jamie Sperlin, Shepard Michael, and Tenzin Jimmy. Tenzin Jimmy. So that is $44.99. That's the best-selling live album of all time. That's what it says. More than Frampton, more than Cash at Folsom Prison, more than Cheap Trick at Budokan. Yeah, I don't know. What are some of the other big ones? Led Zeppelin, song remains the same. Paul Brothers says he wants one if he wasn't on the pre-order. You wasn't, so that's sold to Paul Brothers. Okay, so $44.99 for Eric Clapton Unplugged. Mother's Milk, we had a waiting list for this. It's been out of stock for quite some time. That is the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Mother's Milk. This is from the Capitol Vaults, $38.99. Mother's Milk from the Capitol Vaults, that is $38.99. And the waiting list for that was Joe Maynard and Jared Benoit. Joe Maynard and Jared Benoit. So 2 copies of that back in stock. Actually, I have 3 because we found one last night in the putback bin from like months ago. So $38.99 for Mother's Milk, Red Hot Chili Peppers. We have 2 of those. And I realized we didn't have any other Radiohead in the store. So this is Radiohead Rainbows, or In Rainbows, I think technically. Yeah, In Rainbows by Radiohead. That is $44.99 by Radiohead, In Rainbows. And Music for the Masses, Depeche Mode. Now, this had been out of stock for a while. Very glad to see more of these back in stock. We did have a waiting list for it. Depeche Mode, Music for the Masses. Wendy Michelle, Jason Fornerat, and Jackie Reynolds. If you don't have this one already, I've got 2 more left. I listened to this the other day. I like that first song, Never Let Me Down Again. Very, very good stuff on there. Depeche Mode, Music for the Masses. That has, that's a gatefold single LP, $33.99. Tori Amos, Under the Pink. Tori Amos is a remaster 2 LP. Tori Amos, $39.99 for Under the Pink. And we also have another copy come in of Wham! The Singles, Echoes from the Edge of Heaven. This is Wham's newest compilation, 2 LP, $46.99. And if you know anything about Wham, if you've been watching my shows for the last few years, they've really never had anything in print. Any of their original studio albums, both of their major studio albums, have never really been reissued. So this is the first time they've come out with like any kind of release or compilation in quite some time. And luckily, it's a greatest hits. There was a waiting list for that. Tracy Miller. Tracy Miller, I have you down for one. That's Wham! The Singles. And then somebody asked to restock some Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. And I'm going to show them all at the same time, and then you can claim whichever you want. We have NSYNC, No Strings Attached, $36.99. NSYNC Millennium, $36.99. And NSYNC, this is just self-titled, NSYNC, 25th Anniversary, $31.99. So that's Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys Millennium, and then the 2 NSYNCs are No Strings Attached and then self-titled. So if you're interested in any of those, these two are picture disc, and this one is self-titled. Rebecca says she wants all of them, and I think that's what Rebecca was the one who maybe possibly requested me to order those. If anybody else wants one, let me know. I'll probably order one each of them again, and if anybody wants any of them specifically, let me know. Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes. Another Tori Amos. Somebody's been asking for these, and I realized we didn't have them in stock. This is $44.99. $44.99. This is Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes. You cross the streams. What does that mean? And we have Radiohead, Hail to the Thief. Radiohead is $46.99. Hail to the Thief. That's another Radiohead. We also had In Rainbows. Somebody asked for this the other night, and we didn't have it in the bins. We didn't put them on a waiting list. I forgot actually who it was. But we do have Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen. That's on the indie exclusive, Black Ice vinyl. And the new album's coming out, and this is $36.99. $36.99. I've never seen Ghostbusters, so maybe that's why I'm not catching any Ghostbusters references. Put that on my list of 80s iconic movies I've never seen. Never seen Ghostbusters. You ever seen Ghostbusters, Tanner?
Yeah.
Tanner's seen Ghostbusters. Okay. We have Pulp Fiction, $38.99. Pulp Fiction is $38.99. Somebody asked for this. I got a lot of stuff people's been asking for because they'll be like, hey, you got Pulp Fiction soundtrack? And I'm like, no. You got Wolfgang Van Halen? No. What do you have in stock with Radiohead? Nothing. Do you have any Depeche Mode? No. And so there's like stuff that I'm always running out of. There's millions of titles in my head, and sometimes I can't keep up with what I have or not. So John Lill gets a Pulp Fiction. I've only got one of those. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Another Radiohead. This is called The Bends, $44.99. And Motorhead Overkill, $26.99. Stacy, that was the only NSYNC and Backstreet Boys I had. I only ordered one of each, and Rebecca got all three. So if you want one, let me know. I'll put you on a waiting list. And the new Coulter Wall album. This is called Little Songs. Coulter Wall, Little Songs, $29.99. I have two of those from Coulter Wall. That's a new album, comes out Friday. We have Leslie King, David Schroeder, Sherry Darnell on a waiting list. And I have two more. That is the new Coulter Wall. Stacy said, yes, please. That's a waiting list for NSYNC. No strings attached. No strings attached. Edward Star Wars wants a Coulter Wall. And I have one left. How much on Eric Clapton? I'm going to show that again right now. So this is a new crate of new arrivals. It's our only crate of new vinyl tonight. Paul Brothers also wants Coulter Wall. If I were to own one Motorhead record, which one? I'm not a Motorhead expert, nor have I listened to all their albums, but the one I have listened to is Ace of Spades, which has my favorite Motorhead song, and probably most people say that's their best album. However, that one right there, oh, I forgot about Ozzy. I'll show him in just a second. Monica Malley, let me know which Radiohead you want. I've got three in here, and let's go ahead and pull a Depeche Mode for Jerry Stone. So to answer Mark Strope's question, the new Eric Clapton Unplugged is $44.99, 2 LP, and like I said, the best-selling live album of all time, $44.99. Monica Malley wants Radiohead, The Bends. That's so to Monica Malley. Let's put James Bragg on the Pulp Fiction soundtrack. Did the Otis box set come in? I was not invoiced for it this week. That come out last week. We have one on our shelf over there, but you should have already got an invoice for it. Be sure to check your emails, and we'll see if we have an invoice for you. But you should already have that. Yeah, that came out several weeks ago, Troy. That was like 3 weeks ago. Eric Clapton Unplugged, $44.99. Mother's Milk is $38.99. Craig Johnson wants a Radiohead in Rainbows. Has Radiohead ever released Pablo Honey? It will be here tomorrow. I've got a copy coming tomorrow, Bill Fratsky, if you already want to put your name on it. I think it's also $44.99. So, Eric Clapton Unplugged, $44.99. Mother's Milk, Red Hot Chili Peppers, $38.99. Last copy of Depeche Mode, Music for the Masses. I like that one, $33.99. Tori Amos, Under the Pink, is $39.99. Wham, the singles, not Ram, Wham, $46.99. Another Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes, $44.99. Here's the only Radiohead album left, Hail to the Thief, $46.99. And then we have multiple copies of Wolfgang Van Halen, Mammoth, that is on the indie exclusive, $36.99. and Motorhead Overkill $26.99. Colin, let me see if I have an ace of spades somewhere. I should. I definitely should. I definitely should. If not, I definitely need to order some. Let's just. I know it's $33.99 if we can find it. I will have to try to locate it though. It's not in this bin. It's in one of our new arrival bins, but I don't know where exactly right now. The Tori Amos albums, the first one, Under the Pink, is a 2LP remaster, $39.99. Tori Amos Under the Pink, that's a 2LP remaster, $39.99. And then Tori Amos Little Earthquakes is also a 2LP remaster. This is a fairly new release as a 2LP remaster, and that's $44.99. I forgot about this one because it was in front of the crate, kind of hidden. Ozzy and Motorhead, Hellraiser. This is the Ozzy Hellraiser, which I think he did from No More Tears, and then Motorhead's Hellraiser with Lemmy. That's on March or Die, and then the mashup with Ozzy and Lemmy, and that is $16.99. I only have one more there, and that's because we had a waiting list. Jeff Hawes got 2, and Darren Wortman got 1. So Jeff Hawes and Darren Wortman on that. I have 1 extra, and this is sold to Shane Devers. Now, I know Stacy Metternich is probably watching. Stacy, let me know if you still want this. This was a back order from a while back. It's a Black Sabbath Paranoid t-shirt. It's a Black Sabbath. This actually was a back order from a while back, and we got one in. So I guess they've made some more. This also tells me I have probably a good chance of getting other sizes. I know I sold several large and extra large, and this is $24.99. Black Sabbath Paranoid. So if you, Stacy, if you want this, let me know. If not, no problem, because I know it's been a while, especially for a t-shirt. And if anybody else is interested in a Black Sabbath Paranoid, it's an officially licensed that comes from our distributor. I can check on a size for you, and we'll kind of take a list, but those will be $24.99. All right, let's start a waiting list first. Shane Devers got Ozzy Hellraiser. Let's put David Howard on a waiting list. And also, well, Jackson Crutcher put Sabbath. I'm not for sure if that was a claim or a question. Jackson, if you could let me know. Oh, maybe he was claiming this. I only have one size, which is small. I don't know if Stacy's on. And then if anybody else wants one, I can check on a size. They're $24.99. $24.99. And Jared Benoit also said waiting list, I guess, for Ozzy and Motorhead, maybe? Maybe Ozzy and Motorhead. The last new release, which we have sold out of, originally I had 8 copies, and then since then I ordered 3 extras, and then we had 3 more pre-orders. If you pre-ordered this, it is in the complete Harry Potter film music collection performed by the City of Prague Philharmonic Orchestra, and this is $49.99. It's a triple LP, Mischief Managed, 3 LP, Harry Potter, the complete Harry Potter film music collection. There was a pre-order for that, 11 people. $49.99. I don't know if I can get more, but I was going to get one for myself, and I don't have any extras right now. So I'm definitely going to order more and look into it tonight. If you are interested in one, let me know, and we'll put you on a waiting list. The pre-order for that was Allison Campbell, Jason Fornerat, Tony Murphy, Alexandria White, Sarah Morgan, James Bragg, Jeannie Taylor, Kristen Barnett, Matt Algram, Chris Kingsley, and Jerry Stone. Jerry Stone, that's the complete Harry Potter film music collection. And this one's already been claimed. That was the only thing that we sold out of before I could even show an extra. So, all right. I don't guess Stacy's on. How unusual. She probably doesn't know we're live, probably like a lot of people, because we did start. If you're just hopping on, we are starting 2 hours late. So there's probably some people who have no idea we were on tonight, and they're probably going to be disappointed when they found out we were live. Or the self-titled Ace. Okay, so Colin, are you saying you either want Motorhead Ace of Spades? I can find that for you. And we'll put him on a list. I know there's at least one copy around here somewhere. Okay, so final call on this first crate of new vinyl. Then we're going to get straight into vintage for the rest of the night. Stuff that Paul priced today. We have Eric Clapton Unplugged, $44.99. Mother's Milk is $38.99. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Depeche Mode is $33.99. We have Tori Amos Under the Pink, $39.99. Wham! The Singles, $46.99. Tori Amos Little Earthquakes, $44.99. Radiohead Hail to the Thief, $46.99. Mammoth is $36.99. And Motorhead Overkill, $26.99. And then we'll find out if Stacy wants that shirt or not. If anybody else thinks they might want a small Black Sabbath Paranoid t-shirt, let me know. Somebody asked for me to get the Japanese auction started. I'm going to right after we start some other auctions. I've got Lightning Hopkins, and I have, wow, the Armageddon soundtrack, and these are awesome here. We got some great auctions. You are lucky if you are tuning in. Did I get a Red Hot Chili Pepper? Darren or Jared? Yes, you was on the waiting list. You was on the waiting list. And Dwayne Sevilla wants a mammoth. Some other people told me notifications have been weird today. We didn't have a lot of people watching late last night, and I think that's because a lot of people didn't get notifications and may not have tuned in. So, Dwayne Sevilla, I got you down for a mammoth. I've got 2 more if anybody else wants one. That's our first 2 auctions, which is Goat Head Soup with poster, OG, $45 start, and Lightning Hopkins on Prestige is a $45 start. But before I show those, let me go ahead and set the crate up on the table. Paul's got us some new vintage arrivals. I think we know when Paul prices records, we don't know what we're about to see. There could be some like Spanish spoken word records, and it could be you could get some Barbra Streisand, so you never know. He didn't have one? Okay. Troy, I've got you down for an Otis Redding box set. So Troy Robinson, I will invoice you this week for Otis Redding. For some reason, you might have not got put down on the pre-order. Otis Redding is $139.99, and that is his complete studio album collection through Dock of Bay, The Immortal, Love Man, Tell the Truth, and then his greatest hits, which is unique only to this release. If anybody else wants one, please let me know. Jared Benoit does on the one on the waiting list for that. Okay. So let's show Goat Head Soup, our first auction of that. This is 77, excuse me. I guess that wouldn't make this an OG. It's a 77 Monarch. This album came out in 1973, I'm pretty positive. So this is not first press. It's a 77 Monarch, but it looks like it's extremely nice. It has the original inner sleeve. It is very, very nice. That is top quality as you would expect. Has the original inner sleeve, $45 start. It does have the Goat Head Soup kind of like poster insert, like a 12 by 12 flat. That's in there. And then a really nice gatefold jacket. That's a 77 Monarch press of Rolling Stones Goat Head Soup. If I had looked at this and didn't look up the Matrix, or if Paul hadn't looked up Matrix, I'd say, yeah, this is probably OG. It's the right label. It's got the inner sleeve. It's got the insert. But this is a 77 Monarch Goat Head Soup Rolling Stones. $45 start on that. Very, very nice copy. And then Lightning Hopkins, his greatest hits. A 1964 mono, Lightning Hopkins, his greatest hits. VG Plus condition. Not bad for a blues record on Prestige. This is probably still going to sound very, very well. It feels like it's 200-gram vinyl. These old records like that, those deep groove. Very nice. Lightning Hopkins. The cover is VG minus. It's got some seam splits on the spine. $45 start on that. Lightning Hopkins, his greatest hits. I'm sure the vinyl on that, very nice. It looks like this first bin is check condition. So check condition titles to start out with. Let's finally get started with some new vintage, and we'll see what's in here. Teenage Tragedy. This is EX $17.99. The Rhino Brothers present a specially priced collection of Dream Date discs with a death wish. Interesting. Featuring Homecoming Queens, Got a Gun, Patches, Teen Angel, and Last Kiss. EX $17.99. There you have it. That's a Teenage Tragedy. EX condition, $17.99. Let me get these records standing up correctly. Badfinger, Wish You Were Here. Badfinger is EX $24.99. Badfinger EX $24.99. Wish You Were Here. Badfinger. We also have The Blend, Anytime Delight. The Blend, Anytime Delight. That's an EX copy, $9.99. The Blend, Anytime Delight. EX, $9.99. Jim Croce, The Faces I've Been. Jim Croce's a 2LP, VG Plus, $14.99. Scott Smith, first on BF, which is Badfinger. That's sold to Scott Smith. Looking for $45 starts on these auctions. Another Manassas by Stephen Stills. This is the second one called Down the Road. VG Plus condition, $16.99 for Stephen Stills Manassas. Down the Road, VG Plus $16.99. Romeo and Juliet soundtrack, VG Plus $11.99. Romeo and Juliet, that's a VG Plus $11.99. The Best of Tim Hardin, the best of Tim Harden. EX, $12.99 for the best of Tim Harden. We have Van Morrison Wavelength EX condition, $21.99. Van Morrison Wavelength EX condition, $21.99. And excuse me, Spooky Tooth Witness. Spooky Tooth Witness is EX, $14.99 for Spooky Tooth Witness. And this should have Gary Wright on it. It does. It looked like he wrote most of the songs. Little Feat Down the Farm. Little Feat is EX, $17.99. And Mama's Pride, Uptown and Lowdown. Mama's Pride, Uptown and Lowdown. EX condition on that, $12.99. I definitely need a drink of water. Alrighty. We have Buddy Miles Live. VG Plus condition, $17.99. Buddy Miles Live, 2LP on the Red Mercury label. That's VG Plus condition, $17.99. Bids on both auctions. Stones, $45. Lightning Hopkins, $45. Ian Matthews is VG Plus, $9.99. This is Aurora, All My Demons Greeting Me as a Friend. Aurora is VG Plus, $49.99. It has a mark on side B, only causes a couple clicks. Other than that, it's 180 gram near mint minus record. Final call on the Stones for $45, and final call on Lightning Hopkins for $45. The Script, Science and Faith, VG Plus, $12.99. The Script, Science and Faith. Michael Bublé, To Be Loved. Michael Bublé is EX, $19.99. To Be Loved. And we also have Hard Love, Hard Love Need to Breathe. Hard Love Need to Breathe. That's EX, $27.99. Ann Davis Manginelli on the Script. That's sold to Ann Manginelli. Climax Chicago Blues Band. A Lot of Bottle. 1971 UK. EX condition, $31.99. Not the Climax Blues Band. It's Climax Chicago Blues Band. On the Harvest label, EX condition, $31.99. I don't think I've seen that exact pressing before. Climax Chicago Blues Band, A Lot of Bottle. EX, $31.99. We have the Ambroy Dukes. Ambroy Dukes is a VG copy, $21.99. Ambroy Dukes, VG, $21.99. I was about to say, Ted Nugent. Ted Nugent and the Ambroy Dukes. VG, it has some damage along the bottom of the cover. The seam is split, has a little damage, but Ted Nugent, lead guitar and percussion. VG, $21.99 on that, the Amboy Dukes. Graham Parsons, Grievous Angel. This is a VG Plus, $27.99. And this is VG Plus, $27.99, Graham Parsons, Grievous Angel. That's a Winchester press on that one. Let me go ahead and end these first two auctions, which is the Rolling Stones Goathead Soup. Let me move this crate of new vinyl out of the way. Rolling Stones Goathead Soup is a $45 buy it now to Paul Brothers. And Michael Nath has Lightning Hopkins for $45. Those are both sold. So $45 and $45 for the first two auctions. Thomas Hujar first on Graham Parsons. That's sold to Thomas. We have The Great Speckled Bird, VG Plus, $14.99, produced by Todd Rundgren. The Great Speckled Bird, VG Plus, $14.99 on that. Ronnie Hawkins, The Hawk, VG Plus, $11.99. That's a white label promo from Ronnie Hawkins, The Hawk. VG Plus, $11.99. White label promo from Cotillion. And the Beach Boys Endless Summer, VG Plus, $19.99. The Beach Boys Endless Summer. That's a 2LP compilation on that. Thomas put LH. That was for, that might have been for, I'm not for sure. Lightning Hopkins was an auction. It's already sold. Tommy Flowers gets Ronnie Hawkins. If you wanted Lightning Hopkins, Thomas, that was an auction, and it's already sold for $45. $45. Yeah, I was about to say, I thought this was pricey, this Armageddon soundtrack. So let me put this up for auction. Everything that I posted. I made a quick post right before I went live of some stuff Paul sent me. He worked on today. Some probably auctionable items. And here's the first one. Shooter Jennings, or I guess technically the third one. Shooter Jennings, The Wolf, which is a long out of print album from 2007. And this is a 2007 U.S. press. 2007 U.S. press of Shooter Jennings, The Wolf. That's a $45 start. 2007, Shooter Jennings, The Wolf. The Armageddon soundtrack, or Armageddon the album, this has Aerosmith on it, Journey, Bon Jovi, Patti Smythe, Trevor Rabin, Bob Seger, ZZ Top, 2 LP gatefold, VG Plus on the vinyl, and that's just because of some scuffing. Red vinyl, $150 start. That's $150 start, the Armageddon, the album. And that's 2016 red vinyl, numbered edition remaster. I think it's number 2, or maybe just, yeah. Audio Fidelity numbered edition, number 781, Audio Fidelity. And that's $150 start. Armageddon, the album. Shooter Jennings, 45. That's $150. Darren Meyer, first on the Beach Boys. That's sold to Darren Meyer. Next is Wayne Shorter. Wayne Shorter is EX, $21.99 on GMP Crescendo. VG Plus, or excuse me, EX condition, $31.99. Sonny Rollins, Horn Culture. Sonny Rollins, EX condition, $17.99 on Sonny Rollins. And Miles Davis, Round About Midnight, a 1975 pressing, 75 pressing, VG condition, $16.99 for Miles Davis, Round About Midnight. Train's Rain, John Coltrane, a 1970 remaster, EX, $24.99. A 1970 remaster, Train's Rain, John Coltrane. That's EX, $24.99. Bill Withers, Adjustments, VG condition, $14.99 for Bill Withers. Whoever asked him about Bill Withers last night. Stevie Wonder, Inner Vision. Stevie Wonder is a VG Plus, $24.99 for Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions. VG Plus on that, $24.99. The Great Kai and JJ, Kai Winding and JJ Johnson. That's a VG copy, $21.99. $21.99. That's a 1961 mono. Steve Botsford on Bill Withers. That's sold to Steve Botsford. These two auctions, Shooter Jennings and Armageddon, we're looking for $45 and $150 starts on those. Little Feat, self-titled. That's VG Plus, $17.99. That's a Burbank label from Terre Haute. VG Plus, $17.99. Little Feat, VG Plus, $17.99. Kenny Heathcock is in on the Shooter for a $45 start. And that's going once, going twice. And then Armageddon, like I said, looking for a $150 start on that. Gene Ammons together again for the first time with Sonny Stitt. EX condition, $16.99. That's EX, $16.99. George Benson, Bad Benson. EX condition, $16.99. George Benson, Bad Benson. That's a tongue twister. That's EX, $16.99. Shane Devers is in on the Shooter Jennings for $46. So, Kenny, you're out on that. Sorry, I'm drinking my first caffeine of the day. Probably not a good time to start caffeine, 9:30. Shooter Jennings now at 50. Kelly Bagwell wants Little Feat. And Colin Butler wants George Benson. Steve Botsford, you were second to George Benson. Colin just claimed that one. What I'd Say, Ray Charles, a classic Ray Charles album. This is VG Plus, $12.99. What I'd Say, Ray Charles, that's VG Plus, $12.99. What I'd Say. Shane Devers is at 51 on Shooter Jennings. Freddie Hubbard, Skylark. Freddie Hubbard, EX condition, $17.99 for Freddie Hubbard, Skylark. And this is on, I was going to say, I guess, curious of the label, this Jazz Series, Quintessence Jazz Series, EX, $17.99 on Freddie Hubbard. Alice Cooper, School's Out, VG, $19.99. School's Out has this desk cover. Let's see what label it's on. I don't see any panties, unfortunately. It is on the Green Warner Brothers label. Alice Cooper, School's Out. That's a VG copy for $14.99. Desk cover. Looks like someone's tried to flip it open, but unfortunately, no pairs of panties with that one. Shooter Jennings, 51 and 55. And Shadow Waltz, Sonny Rollins. VG Plus, $27.99. Originally titled Freedom Suite, probably 60s or 70s. This is a mono reissue. VG Plus, $27.99. On Jazzland, Sonny Rollins, Shadow Waltz. And that was originally titled Freedom Suite, probably 60s or 70s, mono reissue. VG Plus, $27.99. Any writing on Alice Cooper? Well, except for whatever they wrote all over the desk. No, I actually, unless something's camouflaged, I don't see where anybody else has actually wrote on it. There is writing all over the cover, but it's made to look that way with the school desk, and that's a VG 1999. Shooter Jennings, we had 55, 56, and 60, now 61. We got a battle going on for Shooter Jennings. Final call on the Armageddon soundtrack, $150 start, or I'm going to make that a buy now. We have Steve Young, Renegade Picker, VG Plus $17.99. That's a 1976 U.S. press with original inner sleeve, VG Plus $17.99. Fred Neal, Bleecker and McDougall. Bleecker and McDougall. I may be saying that. I might have mixed around some syllables there. EX $24.99. That's a 2001 Sundazed reissue. That is $24.99. Jared Benoit takes the Alice Cooper. We have Ray Charles, The Genius Hits the Road. Ray Charles is EX, $12.99. Hank Jones, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams. VG Plus, $21.99. Hank Jones, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams. John Lee Hooker, On Campus. VG Plus, $49.99, and that's a 1963 mono. 1963 mono. Look what we have here. It's a VJ inner sleeve. John Lee Hooker, On Campus. VG Plus, $49.99. There's the back cover. VG Plus, $49.99. 63 mono. And it has a VJ inner sleeve. The Shooter Jennings, let's take a look at here. CD. I don't think there's a CD in here. It has an insert. Shooter Jennings, The Wolf, it has an insert, and I don't see anything else in that except the vinyl. That's it on that. Just the insert there, this cover, and the Near Mint Minus LP. How much was the Amboy Dukes? That was a VG. Let me go through that again. All this great jazz in here. VG $21.99. Bottom seam is split. VG $21.99 on the Amboy Dukes. Ramblin' with Mose Allison. That's EX $32.99. It's an original 61 US mono. EX $32.99. Cannonball Takes Charge. Cannonball is a 1959 mono. VG Plus condition $64.99. Cannonball Takes Charge on the Riverside label. If you ever see that label for a jazz record, usually something good. VG Plus $64.99. And the Beach Boys Pet Sounds. This is in mono. It's a 66 mono. Scratton Press. VG condition $74.99. It plays with Snap, Crackle, and Pop. No skips. We just sold a very similar copy just like this of the Beach Boys Pet Sounds last week. It was a VG copy. Same price, $74.99. We test played it, and it sounded really good. The mono copies of this just sound so great. $74.99 on Pet Sounds. And Joe Newman, Joe's Happenings. Joe Happenings. HAP'Nin''S. VG Plus, $49.99. A 61 stereo. 61 stereo. All right, so Kenny is out on Shooter Jennings. Shane, you have that for $61. That's a final call. If anybody wants Armageddon, the album, it's a $150 buy it now. Armageddon, the album, is a $150 buy it now, which is a soundtrack with Aerosmith, ZZ Top, Bob Seger, Trevor Rabin. I'm reading some of these names on the side. Bon Jovi, Journey. That's a 2016 red vinyl, numbered edition remaster. I'm going to lay that right up here on top of Harry Potter. Final call on Shooter Jennings for $61. I'm going to read through these titles. If anybody needs anything, let me know. Y'all are awfully quiet. It was starting late. Maybe made y'all a little sleepy. I guess it is already 9:30. To me, it feels like it's 7:30. So make sure everybody's awake. 162 people watching. At least some of this jazz. There has to be at least two jazz. Or we have 162 people watching and 0 people are into jazz. It could be possible. I hope not. That would give me doubts about the future of music if we have no jazz buyers on. So let me run through these one more time. There is some rock in here too. And the next crate, the first record I see is The Grateful Dead. And I see Sinatra and The Doors. I see Star Wars, Neck Deep. I see some interesting stuff in the next crate. So let's go through these one more time. I'm just going to read the titles. We have Teenage Tragedy. Greg Stone. That was EX condition, $17.99. EX condition, $17.99 on Teenage Tragedy. The Blend, Anytime Daylight. Greg Stone says sold on Teenage Tragedy. The Blend, Jim Croce, The Faces I've Been. Stephen Stills, Manassas. Really surprised no one got Jim Croce. I don't get that one as often. Romeo and Juliet soundtrack. The Best of Tim Hardin. Van Morrison, Wavelength. Spooky Tooth Witness is still available. EX condition, $14.99. Little Feat, Down on the Farm. Mama's Pride, Uptown and Lowdown. Buddy Miles, Live. Ian Matthews. Adora. Michael Bublé. This was Hard Love. Climax Chicago Blues Band. Great Speckled Bird. Wayne Shorter. Sonny Rollins. Miles Davis. John Coltrane. Stevie Wonder. Kai and JJ. Gene Ammons and Sonny Stitt. Ray Charles. Freddie Hubbard. Sonny Rollins. Colin Butler says he'll take the Miles Davis Around Midnight. That's a classic. That's sold to Colin Butler. Let's also go ahead and end the Shooter Jennings, The Wolf. Shooter Jennings is sold to Shane Devers for $61. That's sold to Shane for $61. Colin Butler, Miles Davis was a VG copy, $16.99. We have details on Coltrane. Train's Reign, John Coltrane. 1970 remaster, green prestige label, EX $24.99. Price on Shorty. We have Sonny, we have Freddie, we have Gene, we have Ray, JJ, Coltrane, Sonny, Wayne Shorter. Wayne Shorter was EX $21.99, 2LP. Thomas Hujar wants JHL. That was John Lee Hooker. There was a John Lee Hooker unclaimed in the bin right here, and now it's no longer claimed. That's sold to Thomas Hujar. John Lee Hooker on campus, 63 mono, VG plus $49.99. That is sold to Thomas Hujar. Did I hear Armageddon Harry Potter? Sorry at work. Yes. Armageddon is a $150 buy now, and Harry Potter was a pre-order that we sold out of. It's a waiting list, triple LP, the complete film music collection, $49.99. That has all the great stuff on it, like Hedwig's theme and the main title. Those are $49.99. New release on triple vinyl. New release on triple vinyl. Okay, Eric Self said he will take the Wayne Shorter. We are on a roll. I just need to sell the other half of the crate. Patty says, Harry Potter, I'll take. Patty, I've got you down on the list. I think I went ahead and ordered more when I realized I had shorted myself, so they should be here by Friday. If not, then they'll be here for the next week. Steve Young, Renegade Picker, VG plus $17.99. How much was Coltrane? The Coltrane that Mark asked about was Train's Reign. That was $24.99. I can't believe a $25 Coltrane album is still in the bin. We have Fred Neil, Ray Charles, Hank Jones, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams. Early Ted Nugent with the Ambroy Dukes, VG vinyl, VG minus cover, $21.99. Mose Allison, Cannonball Adderley, a 59 mono, VG plus $64.99. Pet Sounds in mono, and it sounds incredible. And Joe Newman. All right, one more quick flip, then I've got a whole new bin. I'm going to start from the front. Joe Newman, The Beach Boys, Cannonball Adderley, Mose Allison, Ted Nugent, technically Ambroy Dukes, Hank Jones, Ron Carter, Tony Williams, Ray Charles, Fred Neil, Steve Young, Shadow Waltz, Sonny Rollins, Freddie Hubbard, Ray Charles. This is a classic. We have Gene Ammons, Kai and JJ, Stevie Wonder Intervisions, Sonny Rollins, Great Speckled Bird, Climax, Chicago Blues Band, Hardline, Michael Bublé, Adora, Ian Matthews, Buddy Miles, Mama's Pride, Little Feat, Spooky Tooth, Van Morrison, Tim Hardin, Romeo and Juliet, Manassas, Jim Croce, and The Blend. Chris Wood Sr. said he will take the Ambroy Dukes. Condition of Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds was VG, 66 mono, Scranton, plays with snap, crackle, and pop. No skips. Those are notes from Paul. VG and about a VG/VG cover. Does have a spine crackle right there. So VG overall, $74.99. John Coltrane is EX. Somebody's going to buy this, or we're not moving on to the next crate. Right, Tanner? If someone doesn't buy this, the show's over. If no one buys John Coltrane, show's over. So It's up to you. I may say that about Pet Sounds next. Price on Sonny and Newman. Joe Newman, Joe's Happenings, is VG Plus $49.99. That's a 61 stereo. And we have, what year is the Cannonball? Cannonball is a 1959 mono, VG Plus $64.99. Fred will take it. He was the 5th one to ask about it. I was about to say, 5 people asking about it. It's got to sell. That's so to Fred Carnell. Fred gets the John Coltrane. Anybody else? I'm going to bring up a new crate and we'll start some new auctions. We finally made a dent in that crate. Y'all made me work for that one. I had to go through it 7 times and show everything 3 times, but we end up selling half the crate. So the Sonny price. Tracks on Sonny price. We may have to get a substitute for Craig to give us some track listings. Sonny Rollins is VG Plus $27.99. VG Plus $27.99. The Buddy Miles was Buddy Miles Live. Guess I need to go through the crate a 7th time, but not right now. We'll have to do it later. VG Plus $17.99. Everything is sticker price right now. Not saying I won't take that later, but everything's sticker price. Plus, I may just go through that crate and post it in the group because there were so many people who didn't get to hop on until now. So our next 2 auctions is the Beatles Mono Masters and I think an OG press of Raising Sand that's on colored vinyl. So I'll go through that in just a second. Okay, next crate. We have anything in that crate I'll have to come back to later. Unless you say I'll take something, then I'll pull it for you. If you just want to buy it, I'll pull it. It's already later. Technically after midnight, since we got started later. Maybe I'll start taking offers after. Offers will happen at what, 1 a.m.? Approximately 1 a.m. Central Time is when offers are applicable. Carrie Underwood, My Savior on white vinyl. This is sealed, $24.99. Carrie Underwood, My Savior, white vinyl. That is sealed, $24.99. Some Nights, Fun, $49.99. An original 2012 U.S. press with CD. Some Nights, Fun, $49.99. Jack Johnson, On and On. Jack Johnson is sealed, $29.99 for Jack Johnson. And Neck Deep, Rain in July, A History of Bad Decisions. That is on green and orange smash vinyl. Sealed, $44.99. Green and orange smash vinyl. Neck Deep, sealed, $44.99. Jeff McMaster, first to Jack Johnson. Jeff McMaster, first to Jack Johnson. John Lill was second. Paul Brothers, first to Carrie Underwood. We have, what is this? I don't know. This is another Aurora. This is sealed, $169.99. Barcode matches for red vinyl. We had one of these in the other bins, not this album, but another Aurora. Sealed, $169.99. Stranger Things 3 is a 2009 Fireworks splatter vinyl. Stranger Things Season 3, $29.99. And that is on Fireworks splatter vinyl. Stranger Things Season 3, $29.99. 2 LP gatefold. What year is the Neck Deep? Neck Deep is... it may be 2014 because, well, I don't know, Paul. Paul didn't let me know, or he didn't put on here. No notes, just sealed. I'm assuming 2014. Next is Neck Deep. Next comment was James Cohorn on ST. That was for Stranger Things. Paul Bill was second. Edward Star Wars was third. This is the 1975. And this is a very long title. The 1975 is sealed, $44.99, 2016 clear vinyl. It's all smushed together too. I like it when you sleep, for you are so beautiful, something, something. 1975, that is $44.99, 2016 clear vinyl. Collage, The Chainsmokers, that is sealed, $41.99. 2017 white vinyl, closer. 2017 white vinyl, $41.99 on The Chainsmokers Collage. Panic at the Disco. Panic at the Disco, All My Friends Were Glorious, Death of a Bachelor Tour Live, $74.99. $74.99. Everybody Wants the Struts, sealed, $39.99. Everybody Wants the Struts, $39.99. And For Non-Blondes, hey, we have these in stock currently. This is sealed for $34.99. Not this edition, though. This is the 25th anniversary edition. 25th anniversary edition, $34.99 for 4 non-blondes. First to the struts was Craig Proper, then Jeff McMaster, Craig Proper, then John Leal, then Jeff McMaster, then Patty Kay, and Edward Star Wars wants 4 non-blondes. And Tanner, that one was $34.99 for 4 non-blondes. I hadn't put up these auctions yet. The Beatles Mono Masters is an $80 start. This is the Beatles in mono. The Beatles in mono, a triple LP. I used to have these in stock. Not anymore. They're out of stock. $80, triple LP, near mint, also near mint cover. $80 start for the Beatles Mono Masters. And then a $50 start on Raisin Sand, Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. 2 LP gatefold. Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, and that is on sand-colored vinyl. Sand-colored vinyl. I've never seen that on colored vinyl. Raisin Sand, Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, $50 start on that. First to JJ is Eddie Pasir. And JJ was, what is JJ? JJ, he said, oops, never mind on that. The Killers, Hot Fuss, sealed, $31.99 from 2017. Sealed, $31.99. The Killers, Hot Fuss, got some great songs on that. The band Camino, yellow with black splatter, $39.99. John Leal first on the Killers. That's sold to John Leal. Rogue One, a Star Wars story soundtrack, new and sealed, $29.99 for Rogue One Star Wars story, $29.99. Another neck deep. This is red yellow split with white splatter, $69.99. Let's see what that looks like. That's what it looks like. It's yellow and red split with some white thrown in there, $69.99. Another neck deep. Shelley Campbell wants Rogue One. Looking for $80 and $50 start on those 2 auctions. 30 Seconds to Mars, This Is War. 30 Seconds to Mars, This Is War, sealed, $99.99, 2009 Euro press with CD and ticket. Wow. Oh, I was about to say, is that sealed in there? No, it's just, it's actually somebody's ticket. It was Muse with 30 Seconds to Mars, and that is sealed for $99.99. Sealed, $99.99. John Leal said he wants it, and then he said, never mind. We have Netflix, Stranger Things, Volume 1, Upside Down, Interdimensional Blue. Let's see what that looks like. $26.99. Ooh, looks like a Stranger Things color. $26.99. $26.99. We have 21 Pilots, Vessel. 21 Pilots Vessel is sealed, $29.99. That's on clear vinyl. Paul Beal first on Stranger Things. James Cohorn is second. Coldplay, A Rush of Blood to the Head. That is also sealed, $31.99. That has the hit songs The Scientist and Clocks on it, $31.99. James Bragg wants neck deep. James, I have 2 neck deeps. I have this one, if you want that one. And then I have this one that Paul Beal asked about. And I'm assuming Paul, who's probably wanting to know the year, but I'm not for sure. But let me know which one you want. Unless Paul wants that one, you can have both of them. Hans Zimmer, The Classics. Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is a famous film composer. This looks like a compilation. $24.99, Dark Knight. I see Inception, The Lion King, Gladiator, Thin Red Line, Pirates of the Caribbean, Interstellar. That is $24.99. James Bragg wants both. Paul Beal says he can have both of them. Those are sold to James Bragg. Neck deep and neck deep. Sinatra, The Ultimate Christmas. A brand new collection. 20 classic Christmas songs. Sealed, $34.99. Go ahead and get that for your holiday Christmas party. Nothing wrong with having Frank Sinatra on in the background, right? $34.99. That is sealed, 2 LP. You can impress all of your family members when you show them, look at my cool vinyl turntable record player. And they're probably going to be like, you still listen to records? And then you're going to put this on, and it's going to sound so good, and you're going to impress them, and then they're going to be jealous. And that's exactly what Pete Weisgarber is going to do because he's buying it. Thank you, Pete. Next is the very best of Electric Light Orchestra. 2 LP, all over the world, $29.99. $29.99. That's about $10 cheaper than if you were to buy a brand new copy. The Doors, Perception, Greatest Hits. I've never seen this before. $54.99. It's a 2013 Italian clear vinyl unofficial. Wow. A 2013 clear vinyl unofficial from Italy. The Doors, Perception, $54.99. Fred Carnell on ELO and Gerard Cacciatore on The Doors. I thought I seen an EP with a tiger on it. Is there another Neck Deep in here? Neck Deep, Neck Deep. There is no other Neck Deep in here. No other Neck Deep in here. Jesus People Music. Jesus People Music, Volume 1. The End is at Hand. That's 2020 Record Store Day Blue Vinyl, $22.99. Jesus People Music. The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, Gil Scott-Heron. That's a 1998 press, $27.99. Paul Says This Is Essential. The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, $27.99. Try Me, James Brown, $19.99. 2014 Direct Metal Mastering, $19.99. Colin Butler Wants Jesus. Colin Butler gets Jesus. Craig Thomas gets Gil Scott-Heron. Craig gets Gil Scott-Heron, and Colin Butler was second. Kevin Dokesy wants Carrie Underwood for his wife. I am sorry to disappoint you and your wife, but Carrie Underwood has already been claimed. We have Lightning Hopkins, $22.99. Lightning Hopkins, self-titled, $22.99. Graham Parsons, Another Side of This Life. The Lost Recordings of Graham Parsons. Cool. That's a Sundays, 2018 yellow vinyl in mono, $26.99. Never seen that before. Graham Parsons, $26.99. Thomas Hujar first on Lightning Hopkins. And we have the very best of the Grateful Dead, $21.99. Walmart white vinyl. I think they call that bone white vinyl. I remember seeing that in Walmart on the hop stickers. $21.99. The best of Grateful Dead. Edward Star Wars on Graham Parsons and Jennifer Smeaton on the Grateful Dead. Before I make these auctions, I buy it now. Y'all just about wiped out that crate. Probably one more time around, and most of those will be gone. Before I end these auctions, though, $80 start on the Beatles Mono Masters. I highly recommend. I have a copy myself. And Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, Raising Sand, and that is on colored vinyl, sand-colored vinyl. Here's what's left in here. Some Nights by Fun, $49.99. That's an original 2012 U.S. pressing with CD, $49.99. $49.99. I don't know a lot about Aurora, A-U-R-O-R-A, but their records are not cheap. We had one earlier, and then this one is sealed, red vinyl, $169.99 for Aurora. The 1975 is sealed, $44.99 from 2016 on clear vinyl. Collage by the Chainsmokers. This is $41.99 on white vinyl. That was a big hit. Closer. That is 2017 white vinyl. Sealed, $41.99. Panic at the Disco. All My Friends Were Glorious. Death of a Bachelor Tour live. $74.99 on that. We had the band Camino. Yellow with Black Splatter. $39.99. Yellow with Black Splatter. Let me show you. Wow. Take a look at that. The band Camino. $39.99. 30 Seconds to Mars. That is sealed, $99.99. It's a 2009 press. It has the CD with it, and it has a ticket stub included from where somebody's seen them on tour. 21 Pilots, Vessel. 21 Pilots is sealed, $29.99. Coldplay was also sealed, $31.99, A Rush of Blood to the Head. We had the Hans Zimmer, Edward Star Wars Wants 30 Seconds. Hans Zimmer, this is a compilation, like I said, film scores. Dark Knights, Pirates of the Caribbean, Lion King, Interstellar, Man of Steel, Inception, Gladiator, 2LP, $24.99, and then Try Me by James Brown from 2014, and that was direct metal mastering, $19.99 on Try Me, James Brown. Okay, I have another crate to get to. Let's make these auctions a buy it now. If anybody wants the Beatles Mono Masters, it's an $80 buy it now. The Beatles Mono Masters, good stuff here. The Beatles and mono is the definite way you want to listen to them, just like some of the Beach Boys albums, just like some of the most of the Rolling Stones albums. You want to listen to the Beatles in mono. That's a triple LP, $80 buy it now. And then if anybody wants Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, Raising Sand, on colored vinyl, that's a $50 buy it now. John Leal's going to get the Beatles Mono Masters. That's $80, Tanner. I'll lay that here in the auction pile. And Thomas Bowman is going to get the Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. Great decisions on both of those. Edward Star Wars also wants Fun. Some Nights Fun out of the bin. That's owed to Edward Star Wars. Before I set this off the table, one more quick run through. James Brown, Hans Zimmer, Coldplay, 21 Pilots, the band Camino, Panic at the Disco, Chainsmokers, the 1975, and Aurora. Those are all available. Y'all obliterated that crate. That was some great titles. I think we have, when Paul went on his buying trip about a month ago, I'm pretty sure records like that, I'd call more so modern titles, I think we literally have tubs and tubs of that kind of stuff in the back. It looks like that's what we have here in this next bin as well. I see some OG stuff, but I see some other top stuff too. So I'm going to go ahead and go through this next crate that he priced, the vintage OG stuff. And then I got 2 crates that we didn't get to from last night. So let's see what we have in here. The only auction that has not sold tonight, it was a pricier one, the Armageddon soundtrack. And that's a $150 buy it now on red vinyl. I've got a couple standing offers, I think, for some jazz records. But before we continue, let me put up some new Japanese auctions, which is going to be Ghostbusters and Y&T. So I got an awesome bin of Japanese stuff over here. I don't know, because of the time, I'm going to get in too many of the really, really good ones. We got some soundtracks, but man, these are pretty good right here. Y&T and Ghostbusters, $35 start on that. $35 start on Ghostbusters soundtrack. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. There is the LP. There's the Japanese flip. Check this out. It has a Ghostbusters merchandise insert. Take a look at that. That's really cool. You could have got helmets, hats, pouches, fanny packs, watches, stickers, bags, calendars, leather jackets, sweatshirts, t-shirts, keychains, more stickers. That's really cool. $35 start on the Ghostbusters. That's really, really cool, actually. And a super nice cover with Obi, original soundtrack to Who You Gonna Call. $35 start on Ghostbusters, and then Y&T Earthshaker. Y&T Earthshaker. This is a $35 start on Y&T Earthshaker. Near mint minus LP. There's the Japanese insert. Near mint cover with Obi. $35 start on Y&T. 35 and 35 on those. All right. Fred Carnell says he'll take the James Brown. Are you entertaining offers? I am not entertaining offers. I think these are priced so well that we shouldn't entertain offers. I think these are priced so fantastic, Mark Cunningham, that you should just go ahead and buy them. Patty's at 35 on Y&T. We have Roxy Music, $26.99. Roxy Music, $26.99. Excuse the nudity on that one. Pretty much almost nudity. $26.99, Roxy Music with the yellow Atco label. We have Pinkard and Bowden, PG-13 with hype sticker, $14.99. Every time I show this, it sells, $14.99. The Motown Story, limited edition, $49.99. The Motown Story. I've had this before. It's an awesome box set. 58 golden hits that made Motown history. It also has live in-person interviews with the artist and is presented in a 5-volume LP set. $49.99 for the Motown Story. The Rolling Stones Undercover, $39.99 with press kit. Very cool. This also includes a press kit with it. Subscribe to the Rolling Stones Beggar's Banquet. And it has looks like additional stickers on the back. Wow. Original inner sleeve as well. Never seen one of all those extra inserts like that. That's sold to John Lill, the Rolling Stones. The Four Tops Greatest Hits. I Can't Help Myself. Sugar Pie, Honey Bun. Baby, I Need Your Lovin', Bernadette. That is probably a reissue just based on the way the cover looks and the label, but that is near mint, $14.99. Final call on Y&T for $35, and final call if you want in on Ghostbusters for $35 before I make it a buy it now. Red Wing, What This Country Needs. Red Wing is a promo for $14.99. Red Wing. Brian Ferry, Let's Stick Together. Brian Ferry is $17.99. The Best of Nat King Cole. The Best of Nat King Cole is $11.99. And Van Morrison, Into the Music, $24.99. Kevin Hughes says, Chad, I'll buy it. I'm in at $35. I think, Stacy, I don't know if you were watching earlier, Stacy Metternich, but I wanted to ask you about this t-shirt. You was on a waiting list for a Black Sabbath Paranoid t-shirt, size small. Black Sabbath Paranoid t-shirt, size small for $24.99. Let me know if you still want that. If you do, I'll tag it for you. If not, no hard feelings because it's been a while, but that did come in. Jedit wants Nat King Cole. Eddie Manning is in on Y&T at 36. So, Patty, you're out. And Kevin Hughes has Ghostbusters for 35. Michael Nesmith, we had this album last night. The Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma, $14.99. It has a clip corner. Stacy says she still wants that. Great. That's sold to Stacy Metternich, Black Sabbath Paranoid t-shirt. Like I said, I can get other sizes if anybody else wants them. T. Talton, B. Stewart, and Jay Sandlin. This is Happy to Be Alive, $14.99. John Smetzer wants the Four Tops compilation. And Jeff McMaster on Van. Van Morrison, Into the Music. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. We have multiple bidders now on Y&T. Final call on Ghostbusters. Ronnie Montrose, Open Fire. $14.99 for Ronnie Montrose, Open Fire. Mama's Pride. Mama's Pride is $17.99. Mama's Pride, $17.99. And St. Cloud. St. Cloud is $39.99. Blue and red vinyl numbered. St. Cloud. There's the original hype sticker. 906 of 1,000. $39.99 for that. Meghan Trainor, Title. This is sealed, $26.99. All About That Bass. We put our own hype sticker on it. $26.99. That is sealed. And Walk the Moon. Walk the Moon is sealed, $23.99. Edward says he needs to put back 30 seconds. I did not see that earlier. Needs to put back. Edward says, can I put back 30 seconds? I already have it. Tanner's already laid it right here. I didn't notice that. So this is still available. 30 Seconds to Mars. This is War. It is sealed, $99.99. If anybody wants that, $99.99. Tanner's seen it, but I didn't, so that's still available. Sherry Darnell wants Meghan Trainor. Patty's at 37 on Y&T. We have It Won't Be Soon Before Long, Maroon 5. That's sealed, 2016, $34.99. Let's go ahead and sell Ghostbusters to Kevin Hughes for $35. Y&T's at 37, and Eddie Manning, let me know if you're in or out on that. We have the 1975. Again, this is sealed, $36.99, the 1975. Stranger Things, 2 LPs, sealed, $27.99. Seasons 1 and 2 with poster. Stranger Things, $27.99. Jennifer Smeaton on the 1975. James Cohorn on Stranger Things. We have the Chainsmokers, Bouquet. This is a sealed 2016 press, sealed, $49.99. $49.99. So Sherry Darnell got Meghan Trainor. Jennifer Smeaton got the 1975. James Cohorn got Stranger Things. Eddie Manning bid 38 on Y&T. John Leal was second on Stranger Things. Tony Riddle was third. And I think everybody's putting their year they're graduating now, thinking their bids, because we had an album called the 1975, and I don't know if that was a claim for 1975 or somebody was putting the year they graduated high school. And I also was looking at them like, okay, is this a bid, or I'm trying to dissect what's going on in the comments. Next auction is going to be Ray Charles with Milt Jackson. Very cool Japanese pressing here. Take a look at this. I'm curious. Let me take a look at it a little bit closer. We have let's see. Yeah, I was going to say this is, I think, an older Japanese pressing. Take a look at the label. Soul Meeting with Ray Charles and Milt Jackson. It's super clean for what it is. I'm going to call it EX. I'm going to call it EX just because it has a scuff and because it's an older Japanese pressing. Take a look at the cover. It's hard to believe this one still has the obi. It does have a stain on it. But usually these kind of records, it's a laminate cover, flip back. And I wish I had the exact year, but pretty unique. This is an older Japanese pressing for sure. $35 start. Soul Meeting, Ray Charles and Milt Jackson. I can tell you that from the obi and the label. $35 start on that. So update on Y&T. Eddie Manning is at 38. Eddie Manning was at 38. And Patty, you're out. And Thomas is at 35 on Ray Charles and Milt Jackson. And then Eddie also said he wanted to see the hard line from the other bin. Let me see if I can find that very quickly, because I have already set that crate off to the side. But if I can find it right quick, I will show it to you. And that had something to do with hard line. That was Hard Love. I think this was Hard Love. Hard Love Mountain Part 1. Hard Love Mountain Part 1 was EX $27.99. There was no hard line. Patty's in on Y&T at 39, and Thomas is at 35 on Ray Charles. Need to Breathe. Need to Breathe is sealed $26.99. That's called Rivers in the Wasteland. Need to Breathe, $26.99, Rivers in the Wasteland. We have Queen's Greatest Hits. That is a half-speed master sealed, $39.99. Queen's Greatest Hits, half-speed master sealed, $39.99. Neck Deep, opaque white vinyl. Opaque white vinyl is sealed, $34.99. Opaque white vinyl is sealed, $34.99. And Maroon 5, Songs About Jane. This is also sealed, $36.99. Maroon 5, Songs About Jane, $36.99. Patty's at 39 on Y&T. Jonathan Berg wants Queen. Tanner, that was $39.99 for Queen's Greatest Hits. Al Green's Greatest Hits is sealed, $22.99. Al Green's Greatest Hits, sealed, $22.99. Jack Johnson, In Between Dreams, sealed, $34.99. Jack Johnson, sealed, In Between Dreams, $34.99. John Leal, first on Al Green. Now that's what I call country classics. 18 hits on 2 yellow LPs, $23.99. $23.99. Craig Johnson, first on Jack Johnson. John Leal got the Al Green. Barbara Mandrell, after all these years, is a Cracker Barrel exclusive, $14.99. Only sold at Cracker Barrel, $14.99. All right, Eddie's out on Y&T, so final call on Y&T at 39 and final call on Ray Charles and Milt Jackson for 39. Lee Morgan is a 2009 press, $26.99 of Taru. Lee Morgan, $26.99. Blue Train, this is a Tone Poet reissue, $37.99. Awesome jacket on these, and this is $37.99. John Coltrane, $37.99. New bid on Ray Charles, Bob Potato Sticks, is at $36. Thomas, you're out. Pickin' Time, Hank Mobley and Lee Morgan. This is a reissue. Originals go for around $1,000, Paul said. This is $22.99. Pickin' Time, Hank Mobley, Blue Note. And this is a reissue for $22.99. I've seen these before on eBay and Discogs. If you did have a mint OG of this, it's $1,000 plus for sure. Pickin' Time, Hank Mobley and Lee Morgan, $22.99. And we have Eero Gardner, Encores and High Five, a 1958 mono promo. A 1958 mono promo, $12.99. Mono promo. Okay, so Thomas, let me know if you're in or out on Ray Charles. He's at 36. Patty's going to go ahead and get the Y&T for 39. And let's see here. Coltrane and Thomas is at 37 on Ray Charles. Thomas is at 37 on Ray Charles. So new bid on that. I'm going to read through these titles one more time. One more time on these titles. If you see anything you want, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the other bin. Thomas is at 37 on Ray Charles. So Bob Potato Sticks, you're out, Mr. Bob Potato Sticks. This is an awfully nice looking Japanese pressing here, but I'm going to give it a run. I probably normally wouldn't put something up like this late, but this is awfully nice. Good gracious. Holy moly. My hands are burning where I touched it. I have to put on gloves, oven mitts. This is a hot record. It's Led Zeppelin 2, Japanese pressing. Let's take a closer look at it. I think this one is very nice and complete. First thing, lyric insert. Whole Lot of Love. Oh my gosh, we have a poster. Haven't had a Japanese Led Zeppelin in a while with a poster. It says Led Zeppelin 2. with poster. Nice poster. The vinyl is near mint and pristine, Japanese quality. And we also have a super duper nice cover with Obi. $95 start. Led Zeppelin 2, really nice copy. I can only see one flaw. This humidity mark, that spot of foxing and this spot of foxing. There's none on the poster, there's none on the cover, there's none on the Obi. This is a very nice copy of Led Zeppelin 2, Japanese press. Nice colors. Look at the corners. Super nice corners. That's up for bid. Okay, let me go back up to the top, make sure I didn't miss anything. We had 37 on Ray Charles, then Bernie Johnson says he wants the Roe Gardner. This is sold to Bernie Johnson. Fred Carnell says Blue Train info. Blue Train is a Blue Note Tone Poet reissue. That's $37.99. It's near mint gatefold. Awesome covers on those Blue Note Tone Poets. Jennifer Smeaton wants Maroon 5 Songs About Jane. Tanner, this is $36.99 whenever I get to it. I have more of these if anybody wants one. Jennifer Smeaton gets that. That's $36.99. Bob's out on Ray Charles. So that means, Thomas, you have Ray Charles for $37, final call. James Bragg's at $100 on Led Zeppelin. And we have Kyle, I will check that. And this is 2 LP. No, this is a single LP, which means it should be in mono. The stereo, yes, this is in mono. The stereo is a 2 LP. That's a single LP mono. Here's what's left in this bin. If you need any prices or information, let me know. John Coltrane Blue Train, Roxy Music, Pinkard and Bowden, The Motown Story, a 5 LP box set, Red Wing, Brian Ferry, Michael Nesbitt. Let's see. Whoever claimed Maroon 5, was there another comment in there? Hold on a second. Maroon 5 Songs About Jane, okay. T. Talton, B. Stewart, Jay Sandlin, Ronnie Montrose, Mama's Pride. We have Saint Cloud, Walk the Moon, 30 Seconds to Mars, Maroon 5, The Chainsmokers, Need to Breathe, Neck Deep. Steve Carmichael wants the Now Country Classics. That's sold to Steve Carmichael. The Motown box was $49.99. It has spoken word, all kinds of great. It has 58 tracks with spoken word and interviews as well. It's like literally a musical journey of Motown, $49.99. The Obi at the bottom says 2,500 yen. 2,500 yen at the bottom. Motown price. Paul Bill wants to know the 30 seconds price. 30 seconds was $99.99. This is 30 Seconds to Mars. It is a 2009 press with a CD. It is sealed. It's never been opened with hop sticker, and it includes a ticket stub to a show from 2017 with Muse. Led Zeppelin 105, Led Zeppelin 110. Let's go ahead and sell Ray Charles, the Thomas Hujar. That is sold for $37 to Thomas. Led Zeppelin's now at $115. We have Barbara Mandrell. After all these years, that's a collection. That's a Barbara Mandrell's greatest hits. And yes, Cracker Barrel does have exclusives. There's a Vince Gill album that was sold just at Cracker Barrel, and I think you probably could have went in there and bought it for like $19.98 or something, and it's about a $100 record right now because it was only released at Cracker Barrel. When I go to Cracker Barrel, which is quite often, the first thing I walk to is the little rotunda with all the vinyl and see what kind of exclusives are in there. But I usually don't find much. They usually just have Disney soundtracks, Queen's Greatest Hits, and Fleetwood Mac rumors. That's usually the only thing they have in there when I go to them. Lee Morgan, Tyroo, $26.99. And Peck and Time, Hank Mobley and Lee Morgan, $22.99. Now, if they let me in charge of their vinyl department, I could really increase their sales. I could sell the heck out of vinyl Cracker Barrel. I could put a couple bins of used country albums in there, and they would probably sell out every day. But unfortunately, I don't have access to Cracker Barrel. I wish I did. Colin Butler, Peck and Time. That's sold to Colin Butler. A lot of times their bins isn't really what I would consider stuff you would think they would want to sell in Cracker Barrel. So, yeah, Thriller and Purple. They only have, I noticed some stores, I noticed when Books and Million first started selling vinyl, they just stocked the essentials. Abbey Road, Nevermind, Thriller, Rumors, the top 5 bestsellers on new vinyl. Maybe a couple Black Sabbaths, Dark Side of the Moon, a couple Led Zeppelins. So that's Colin Butler. Catalog number on Zeppelin. Zeppelin is P-101. P-101, 01A. Let me show you that. You might can, some people screenshot it so they can see it. That's P-10101A. That has the insert, the poster, insert, poster, very nice vinyl, cover, and obi. Super nice. Okay, I usually walk to the hash brown casserole. That is awfully good. Yes, I usually walk to the catfish. What years does Led Zeppelin? I do not know. I think that's why people are looking it up. I think that's why people's looking it up. I would say because of 2,500 yen, I would say this is probably, what, a 70s? I doubt this is 1969. I can tell you that from the obi. This is probably a 70s press. Can somebody let us know? I hadn't ran the numbers on that. I just knew it was near mint with obi and poster, 76. I was about to say, I think it's probably a 70s. The true 69 pressings, or any true first press of these Japanese Led Zeppelin albums, we don't see as often. It's a 76. High bid on that is Thomas Hujar. Jared was at 120. Thomas is at 125. So 120 and 125 on that. I don't know if I want to sell these, Tanner. Let me look at them and check my collection. Tanner just handed me these. Oh my gosh, take a look at this. I don't know if I want to sell them or not. The Archies, Japanese singles. Jingle Jangle, Sunshine, Sugar Sugar, Japanese singles. Let me check my personal collection. I don't know if I'm ready to let those go or not. Man, take a look at those. Wow. Oh, if I don't drop them in the meantime. Almost dropped Jingle Jangle. Let me set those far away from the camera. Next auction is Blackberry Smoke, Stoned. This is a record store day, red with black smoke. This is Blackberry Smoke covering the Rolling Stones. Check out that colored vinyl. This is a $35 start for Blackberry Smoke, Stoned. Led Zeppelin's at $130. Thomas is at $133. Paul Bill says he'll take the neck deep. Did I ever read through this bin? I guess I did. We have Lee Morgan, Barbara Mandrell, 30 Seconds to Mars, Motown Story, Need to Breathe, Bouquet, Maroon 5, Walk the Moon. This was St. Cloud, Mama's Pride, Ronnie Montrose, T. Talton, B. Stewart, Jay Sandlin. We have Michael Nesbitt, Brian Ferry, Red Wing, Pinkerton Bowden, Roxy Music, and John Coltrane. I've never been to Cracker Barrel. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Do you live on Earth, Neil? Oh my gosh. That's like the time I met the guy who had never heard of the Andy Griffin Show. I was at a Halloween party one night at my local fire department fundraiser, and this guy, my aunt, was talking about the Andy Griffin Show, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And that was the second most shocked I've ever been in my life. That might have been number 1 when Neil just said he's never ate at Cracker Barrel. Wow. I thought that was like a McDonald's, like everybody's had it at least once. Oh my gosh. Okay, Led Zeppelin's at 130, 133. Paul's got neck deep. Chris is at 35. We have Led Zeppelin at 140 and 145. And let's continue. I never seen Ghostbusters. That's true, but that's no comparison. That's no comparison. I think I grabbed the wrong crate. These are both new arrivals, but I think I wanted to go through this one first. I'm not for sure. Let me figure out. We'll go through, well, yeah, they're both pretty similar. I've got 2 bins of new vintage arrivals. 2 bins of new vintage arrivals. Ghostbusters, though, came out. I've always got my excuses for movies. There's no excuses to never be into Cracker Barrel. Wow. Has anybody else never been to Cracker Barrel that's watching right now? I'm just curious. Led Zeppelin's at 150, now 155. Peck and Time is sold. Peck and Time is sold. And Blackberry Smoke, Blackberry Smoke is at 35 with Chris Wood Sr. Final call. Final call. John Smetzer's never been to Cracker Barrel. Wow. Santa Esmeralda, starring, I guess if you're out west. I looked at a map one time. And there wasn't many, you know. Here, they're here every 20 miles there's a Cracker Barrel in Tennessee. About every 20 miles, 30 miles maybe, there's a Cracker Barrel. Every exit, some exits have two. They're everywhere. So we have Santa Esmeralda, starring Leroy Gomez, $9.99. Lebanon is where Cracker Barrel started. We're in the national headquarters of Cracker Barrel, Lebanon, Tennessee. This is Lebanon, Tennessee. This is national headquarters for Cracker Barrel. So, Santa Esmeralda, starring Leroy Gomez, $9.99. Thank God It's Friday, the original motion picture soundtrack, $64.99. Thank God It's Friday, $64.99. That is a near mint copy. Is this triple LP with booklet? I think it's a triple LP. That is $64.99. Les Dudek, Mike Finnegan, Jim Krugen. This is $9.99. The Dudek Finnegan Kruger Band, not DFK, $9.99. We have Steve Gibbons Band, Any Road Up. Steve Gibbons Band is $14.99. $14.99. Dave Grusin, Mountain Dance. Dave Grusin is $9.99. And Merle Haggard, Poncho and Lefty. That's Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard, Poncho and Lefty, $14.99. Okay, so let me make sure I don't miss anything during all the Cracker Barrel discussion. Peck and Time was already sold. Led Zeppelin was at $150. Led Zeppelin's at $155. Let's see here. Next was I'm a Norther. They just opened one about 40 minutes from me. You got to go to it. You got to go to it. Let's see here. Blackberry Smoke was at $36. Blackberry Smoke, another person bid $36. We have Blackberry Smoke $37. Led Zeppelin $160. Blackberry Smoke $38. It is not sealed. It's near mint. Blackberry Smoke $40. Is DFK a picture disc? No, it's not. It's black vinyl. Black vinyl. Shane Devers, MH, Merle Haggard. So Shane Devers gets the Merle Haggard. Blackberry Smoke $41. Paul was second on Merle Haggard. Blackberry Smoke $42. And Led Zeppelin is at $160 with Jared Benoit. Thomas Hujar, you're out on Led Zeppelin. Jared Benoit has that for $160. Let me know if you're in or out. Al Stewart, Year of the Cat, $16.99. $16.99. Al Stewart, Year of the Cat, $16.99. Santana's Greatest Hits, $19.99. Santana's Greatest Hits, $19.99. Blackberry Smoke is Stone. This is Blackberry Smoke covering the Rolling Stones. It's an awesome record. It's on red and black smoke-colored vinyl. The high bid on that is $43. The high bid on Led Zeppelin 2 is $43. Men at Work, Business as Usual, $24.99. Men at Work, Business as Usual. Near mint copy with the original inner sleeve. Cleaned, sleeved, ready for you to play. Men at Work. We have Billy Joel and Innocent Man. $14.99 on Billy Joel and Innocent Man. MU, The Best of Jethro Tull. This is $19.99. It looks like it had it had a Chrysalis promotional sticker on it that somebody peeled off. Let's see what the label looks like. Jethro Tull was $19.99. No mention of promo on the label, but it is near mint. $19.99. Led Zeppelin $165. Blackberry Smoke $45, now $50. The Everly Brothers, featuring Wake Up Little Susie. The Everly Brothers is $9.99. Shriekback, Lined Up. Shriekback is $9.99. Shriekback promotional copy, not for sale, of My Spine, Accretions, and Clear Trails. That's $14.99. And Book of Love, You Make Me Feel So Good, $9.99. Three-Way Records, MC Bob, Do the Fila, and the Pee Wee Dance, 1986, $12.99. Blackberry Smoke was at $50 with Shane Devers. Wolfpack Motorsports is out. Thomas is at 168 on Led Zeppelin. Christopher Broughton on EB, which was Everly Brothers. Colin Butler wants the first Chic back. Chris Wood Sr.'s at 51 on Blackberry Smoke. Jethro Tull was 1999, the best of Jethro Tull. Mick Greenwood, Living Game. Mick Greenwood, $12.99. Sinatra Trilogy. Sinatra is $34.99. That's a triple LP Frank Sinatra compilation. Bonnie Tyler, It's a Heartache. Bonnie Tyler is $9.99. 10 Years After, Watt, W-A-T-T, $19.99 on 10 Years After. And Shh by 10 Years After, $19.99. Jared's out on Led Zeppelin. That means Thomas Hujar, you're the highest bidder. Now going twice, going 3 times on Led Zeppelin for $168. Blackberry Smoke is at 52. Gerard Cacciatore wants BT. That's Bonnie Tyler. That's so to Gerard Cacciatore. Songs for Sinners, Rusty Warren, $9.99. It has an original record shop sticker on the back from Woodruff in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, $9.99. Vanilla Fudge, Near the Beginning. Vanilla Fudge on Atco, not Yatco, Atco. Near mint copy, it looks like, $19.99. Chris is at 55 on Blackberry Smoke. We have Do What You Gotta Do, Bobby V. Do What You Gotta Do, $9.99. Edward says NY sold, NY, he might want, I'm not for sure. We'll figure out. Did he ask about something? He asked about Jethro Tull. He meant MU sold, Jethro Tull Musicians Union. That's what MU stands for there, the best of Jethro Tull. That's so to Edward Star Wars. Next is great Rod Stewart compilation. This is called, wow, it's a white label promo too. Sing It Again, Rod. Rod Stewart is a compilation, white label promo, and this is the die-cut cover that's shaped like a whiskey glass, $22.99. That's sold to Craig Johnson before I could get it into the bin. I don't know why I laid Jethro Tull there. I'm putting it right there. Craig Johnson got that. Let's go ahead and sell Led Zeppelin to Thomas Hujar for $168. Update on Blackberry Smoke. Shane Devers is at $60. Shane Devers is at $60. Chris Wood Sr., let me know if you're in or out. And Rod Stewart is sold to Craig, Colin, and then Wolfpack was, I think, trying to make an offer. John Mayall is $24.99. John Mayall, this is called Memories, $24.99. Final call on Blackberry Smoke because Chris is out. Blackberry Smoke is at $60. Conway Twitty, Rest Your Love on Me. Conway's $9.99. And The Temptations, A Song for You, $14.99. Joe Marino says he'll take the Lee Morgan Taru if it hadn't sold. It's right here in the front of this crate. I was hesitant about putting up some of these Japanese auctions, but it looks like we got the bidders on. So let me bring out another really nice one. These were supposed to be reserved for hot pitchers, but I'm going to bring out another one that I think you're really going to like. I haven't had one of these with an Obi that I think is this nice in a while. Let me take a look at it. But ta-da, here it is, The Return of the Jedi by John Williams. A long-lost uncle of mine. I've yet to meet him. John Williams, Return of the Jedi. This is a near mint and pristine Japanese pressing of Return of the Jedi. $45 start. It includes the Japanese insert with pictures from the film. Return of the Jedi, very cool. That's a $45 start. There's the Japanese insert and what I think is almost as, covers are always important, but these here, look how nice. Glossy with Obi, gatefold. I see pretty much nothing wrong with this one. $45 start. $45 start on Return of the Jedi. There we have it. Let's see here. Last crate. Joe, I got you. Did I pull that? I guess I did. Yeah, Tanner's already stickered that. I guess I already pulled that. Joe, I got that pulled for you. We have Shane Devers wants Conway Twitty. That's sold to Shane Devers. And The Temptations. The Temptations is $14.99. $14.99. Jeannie Pinnell's at $45 on Jedi. Let's go ahead and sell Blackberry Smoke. That is sold for $60. $60 to Shane Devers. Is my mic working? Test 1, 2. Temptations, A Song for You, $14.99. I'm going to move the Jedi right over here. Brent Robley said sold on The Temptations. I have room now for another auctions. I forgot that one was on the tail end. Let's do this one with John Wayne. I think this is one of those movie compilations as well. Let's figure out exactly what this one's called. I see John Wayne on the cover. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the Kiss over here too. I got Kiss Dynasty, Kiss Music from the Elder, and ooh, a Paul Stanley solo album. Oh my gosh. Hope everybody's drunk their caffeine tonight. This is, what's that? Tanner says I sure have. Yeah, I had some. The reason we're late, I'll tell you. We are late because I slept today from like 4 to 7 p.m. Right? That's very odd. So I was waking up about the time we were supposed to start this show. That's why we didn't start till almost 9. I slept from like 4 to 7. And then I've showed up, I've drunk a bunch of caffeine, and I'm trying to show you all these records so we can go through these and then do it again tomorrow, hopefully at 7 o'clock. Hopefully at 7 o'clock, but I just couldn't sleep. I have trouble sleeping, if y'all hadn't learned that by now. I just can't fall asleep usually. I'm always thinking about Coletco. So this is called, wow, this is awesome. Look at all these inserts and pictures. This is, well, I never did read you the title on this. This is called Western Screen Theme. Western Screen Theme. Western Screen Theme. This is a $35 start. Western Screen Themes. Boy, that's hard to say. Very cool cover here, though. John Wayne on the front. Gatefold. Who is that? The Rifleman? Who is this here? Chuck Connors? Let me see what we have here. I guess that looks like, might be the Rifleman. Then it has this flip where the record would have went. And let's see. Stagecoach, High Noon, Johnny Guitar, Call, The Big Country, Gunfire, OK Corral, Theme, Yellow Rose of Texas. $35 start on that. Okay. We have, make sure I'm at the right place. Jedi was at 45. John Williams' son is Joe Williams, the lead singer of Toto. We learn something new every day. Jedi's at 46. Jedi's at 47. Jedi's at 55. Jedi's at 56. Jedi's at 59. Jedi's out. Gummies, energy drink, Xanax, gummies, drugs. Western Themes is at 35. Dynasty next. Steve McQueen. I was way off. Wow, Steve McQueen from Dead or Alive. I guess that's an early shot of him. I didn't recognize him there. Wow. Steve McQueen from Dead or Alive. So that's a really cool Steve McQueen gatefold, and we have John Wayne on the front cover. Very cool. Next is Jedi at 60. Okay, we have Little Girl, Syndicate of Sound, $34.99 for Syndicate of Sound, $34.99. John Prine, Pink Cadillac. This is a white label promo from 1979, $39.99 on John Prine, Pink Cadillac with the original inner sleeve, $39.99. We have Whitney Houston. Whitney is in shrink wrap, near mint, $49.99. Whitney Houston. Whitney, original inner sleeve, near mint. I just want to dance with somebody. $49.99. Whitney Houston in shrink wrap. That's a top copy of Whitney there. OG, $49.99. Queen Jazz, $34.99. Do we have any nudity? No nudity. The poster is long gone. $34. It is a super nice copy, though, of Queen Jazz with the original inner sleeve. It does have a cut corner, or excuse me, it does have a saw mark gatefold, $34.99. $34.99. Let's see. Let me put this back in here. John Smetzer on Whitney Houston. That's sold to John Smetzer. Westerns at $36, and Return of the Jedi high bid is $60. So $60 on Return of the Jedi. Jeannie Pinnell's at $36 on the Western Themes. The Believers, the original cast recording of The Believers, The Black Experience in song, $24.99. That's in shrink wrap, The Believers. Impressions on The Believers, $24.99. All-Star Hootenanny with Bob Dylan, Flatt and Scruggs, Johnny Cash. That is $14.99. All-Star Hootenanny. Synergy Metropolitan Suite, $9.99 for Synergy Metropolitan Suite. And Judy Seal. Judy Seal, wow, that's a white label promo, $149.99. Judy Seal $149.99. I've had one of these before a long time ago, and I didn't know what it was till I looked it up. And this is $49.99. It's got some cover damage, but that is a Judy Seal, $149.99. $149.99, Judy Seal. Let me see what I got going on here. So I just want to let everybody know that if you were bidding on Return of the Jedi soundtrack and you're not Edward Star Wars, how fitting, Edward Star Wars has the high bid on Star Wars Return of the Jedi soundtrack for $60, and that's a final call. Next, we have the Western themes was at $37 and $38, and that's a final call. Or that's a first call. Nick Bargeron's at $38 on the Western themes. Switched On Bach, $14.99 for Switched On Bach. Donna Summer, Breakaway, 12-inch single, $9.99. Bad Company, Run with the Pack, $16.99. Gatefold foil cover, Badco, $16.99. Santa Esmeralda 2, The House of the Rising Sun, that's $9.99. And here we have Santa Esmeralda starring Leroy Gomez, $9.99. Jackie Reynolds wants All-Stars. I think she was wanting the All-Star Hootenanny, right? That's so did Jackie Reynolds. We have the Winter Brothers Band. The Winter Brothers Band is $9.99. And Charlie Rich, The Early Years, $9.99. Thomas is still the high bidder, or is the high bidder on the Western themes. I'm about to sell Return of the Jedi for $60. I'm going to read through these titles one more time. There's some great stuff in here. There is some fantastic stuff in here. Let me drink some more energy mix. I'm going to be up for the next 12 hours, hopefully. I got too much stuff to do. Nick is at 40 on Western themes. I don't have a Grease soundtrack in stock. The reason I don't stock it on new vinyl because the MSRP would be like $56.99. I've never ordered it. There's enough people ask about it. I figured some people would be okay paying $50 for it, but I've never ordered one, and the OG copies we get sell immediately. I've got another crate of new arrivals. To show. First, we're going to sell Edward Star Wars, the Star Wars soundtrack for $60. Nick Bargeron, let me know if you're in or out. That is a $39. That's a $39 bid. Actually, Nick has bid $40, so Thomas, you're out. The next Japanese auction is going to be Kiss Dynasty. Kiss Dynasty is a $65 start. Let's take a look at it. Kiss Dynasty, $65 start. Kiss Dynasty. A beautiful near mint copy. Let's see who's the first to bid $65 on it. It has the Japanese book with it, which is pretty much the poster. That looks like the poster that came in the U.S. pressings. It doubles as the insert booklet and poster for this one. Complete with booklet. Really nice cover with Obi. I just see maybe a 0.5% of foxing on it right there. Other than that, this is a really nice copy. $65 start on that. Thomas is at 41 on Western themes. Chad, have you ever had corn on the cob? I have had a lot of corn on the cob. We have $65 start on Kiss Dynasty. Did I miss any other claims? 41 on Western themes, going twice, going 3 times. We have Santa Esmeralda. This is $9.99. Thank God It's Friday. Was $64.99. Steve Gibbons Band, $14.99. Dave Grusin Mountain Dance, $9.99. DFX or DFK was $9.99. Kiss 65, now 70. Al Stewart, Year of the Cat, $16.99. Santana's Greatest Hits is $19.99. Men at Work, Business as Usual, $24.99. Billy Joel and Innocent Man, $14.99. Shriek Back, $14.99. We have Book of Love, You Make Me Feel So Good, $9.99. MC Bob, I think I said Bob earlier, but I think that's MC Boob. MC Boob, that is 1986, $12.99. Mick Greenwood is $12.99. Sinatra Trilogy is $34.99. Leslie Holt wants Book of Love. That's sold to Leslie Holt. Let's also go ahead and sell the Western Themes compilation to Thomas for $41. That was a cool record. We've got another Star Wars soundtrack coming up. Actually, let me pause on that. We'll do that one next. We just did Star Wars. I want to take a look at this Stevie Wonder comp because I've never seen this one before. I really like the cover. I'm curious what it looks like and what the tracks are. This is Stevie Wonder. It's called Excellent 20. Excellent 20. That sounds like something I'm interested in. Hopefully you are too. Stevie Wonder is a $35 start. Excellent 20. It's a 20-track compilation. Single LP. Uptight, Traveling Man, We Can Work It Out. Fingertips. Harmonica. Superstitions on here. If You Really Love Me. Yester Me, Yester You. I Was Made to Love Her. My Girl for Once in My Life. Signed, sealed, and delivered. This may be the best single disc Stevie Wonder compilation I've ever seen. It has everything on it. It's very nice too. Side 1 is Near Mint Minus, and it has one light scuff right here. So I'm going to call side 2 EX++, and side 1 Near Mint and Pristine. $35 start on Stevie Wonder. $35 start. There's the original anti-static that came with it. Japanese inner sleeve. There's the lyric booklet. And this has everything on it. I mean, it has Superstition, We Can Work It Out. I mean, all the Stevie Wonder songs I like, everyone that I know and like is on this 20-track compilation. That is fantastic. Gatefold with Obi. Nice cover too. I mean, for it to be a white cover from Japan, it's not showing any signs of foxing. $35 start on that. And, as some people prefer, it's on a single LP. Only one flip and you hear 20 songs. Stevie Wonder. Jeannie, I would ask you if you can stick around. I hadn't turned on offers yet because I haven't finished with all the new arrivals. And I'm not saying no to your offer, but I'm just not right now because I have said sticker price on everything. But when I get through with the next crate, we're going to go back through everything. And I think I have some people wanting to make some offers. So let me do that. Just hold off on that for just a second. Stevie Wonder's at 35. Jared Benoit's at 75 on Kiss. Sinatra, 10 years after. 10 years after. Rusty Warren, Vanilla Fudge, Do What You Gotta Do, Bobby V. We have John Mayall, Syndicate of Sound. John Prine was a white label promo. Queen Jazz still available, $34.99. The Believers, Synergy, Judy Steele or Jude Steele. It's a white label PR press, $149.99 from Asylum Records. The cover is VG or VG minus because it has some cover damage along the bottom, but it is on Asylum, Jude or Judy Steele or Seal. That is Judeeeesill, and that is a white label from Asylum, $149.99. Jedit's at 35 on Stevie Wonder. I'm surprised this don't have more activity yet. And then George Somers is at 80 on Kiss. We have Switched on Bach, Donna Summer, Bad Company, Santa Esmeralda 2, the Winter Brothers Band, and Charlie Rich, the early years. Show Me Empire with the Black Obi. I've got 2 more Star Wars soundtracks that I possibly could show tonight. I feel like we still got the bidders on, and the faithfuls aren't going to go anywhere because they're curious in what's in this next bin. We've got a new bin of vintage arrivals that have never been shown before, and I'm showing it at what time? Almost 11 o'clock, 20 till. So, let's see what we got going on here. Jared Benoit, you're out on Kiss. George Somers is at 80. And we're about to give Jedit, the Stevie Wonder. Jedit's about to get it for $35. Final call. Also got a copy of Music from the Elder and a Paul Stanley solo album. Both Japanese pressings we can get to. Here we go. New bin. All new arrivals. George Somers is at 40 on Stevie Wonders. That's an amazing compilation. These are not make offer. These are sticker price. They've never been shown before. New arrivals. These have went from fresh to market collections to right here on Facebook. They have never been shown before. Now, we will do a big recap at the end of the night, but right now these are all sticker price. We have Rod Stewart, Absolutely Live. This is a fantastic Rod Stewart live album. He's doing stuff like Do You Think I'm Sexy? And he's doing tracks like Maggie May, $22.99. Rod Stewart, Absolutely Live, $22.99. Jerry Lee Lewis, Rockin' Rhythm and Blues. Jerry Lee Lewis is $9.99. Slayer did not come in. That's due tomorrow. We'll do big shipments tomorrow and Friday from 4 different distributors. So great new vinyl coming for tomorrow night's show and Friday. And we'll do a big recap on Saturday. But tomorrow we will be starting at 7 o'clock. New arrivals. I promise we'll be starting at 7 o'clock tomorrow. We always do on Thursday. Thursdays are usually the biggest nights of the week for vintage and new vinyl. Kenny Loggins, Keep the Fire, $9.99. Kenny Loggins, Keep the Fire. The Secret Value of Daydreaming, Julian Lennon, $14.99. Secret Value of Daydreaming, Patti Smith, Dream of Life. Patti Smith is $29.99. Roy Gallagher, $19.99 for Roy Gallagher, self-titled. Madonna, Like a Virgin. Madonna is in shrink wrap with the original inner sleeve, $24.99 for Madonna, Like a Virgin. Blood Rock Passage. Blood Rock Passage looks like a UK copy, $24.99. Make that German. I could tell because of that and just the way the cover looked, $24.99. Update on our auctions. Stevie Wonder was at 38, then 40, then 42. Kiss was at 85. Stevie Wonder 42, then 45, then 47. Another $45 bid. Stevie Wonder's at 50 with George Somers. Kiss was at 85 with Jared Benoit. John Smetzer wants Kenny Loggins out of the bin. Keep the Fire. That's so to John Smetzer. And then Patty Kay first to Roy Gallagher. Michael Nath, you were second. Conway. Conway is $9.99. That's called Conway by Conway Twitty. Technically self-titled. George is out on Kiss. That means Jared Benoit. You have that for $85. Final Call. And Stevie Wonder is at 50 with George Somers. And that means John Leal, Jedit's out. And then John Leal, if you're out, George is going to be the high bidder on that. Randy Newman, $34.99. Never seen this self-titled album by Randy Newman. Self-titled on Reprise Records. VG Plus cover, near mint minus vinyl. So final call on Stevie and final call on Kiss now. We'll put up some new stuff. Spyro Gyra, Morning Dance. Some good music on there. That is $9.99. Morning Dance by Spyro, $9.99. Buddy Miles and Santana, $19.99 for Santana and Buddy Miles. Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. You got to know when to hold them. $9.99. Introducing the Beatles. This is a bootleg. One of the millions of bootlegs. That's a very poor quality one too. It is in shrink wrap though. $19.99. I've had this album. I've sold it for $5, and I've sold a couple for more than $2,000. They very much range in price. So if you have a copy of this, be very careful about what you have before you sell it. This is Santana Festival, $19.99. If it has stereophonic at the top, there's a good chance the one you have isn't worth much. If it doesn't have stereophonic, you might want to take a closer look, especially if it has ads on the back. If it doesn't have a back, a lot of variance on that one. Another classic Rod Stewart. I can't believe no one bought the Rod Stewart Live. This is my favorite. Every Picture Tells a Story. $24.99 for Rod Stewart. Every Picture Tells a Story. $24.99. Rare Earth, Midnight Lady. Rare Earth is $19.99. Roy Eldridge. Roy Eldridge is $9.99 from Metro. And Porgy and Bess, Swinging Impressions by Hank Jones. That's a cool cover. Porgy and Bess by Hank Jones. That's $9.99. All right, Stevie Wonder is sold to George Somers for $50. Let's set that aside. George, we may have to give that a spin tonight. I want to listen to that. I'll be on the lookout for one for myself in the future. And Kiss Dynasty, I may have to give this a spin too. I Was Made for Loving You. That's sold to Jared Benoit for $85. Kiss is sold to Jared for $85. What was this here, Tanner? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been texting Fred, the Fred Goodwin collection. I've been texting his daughter who I've been dealing with since this process. And we have almost 2 or 3 trailer fulls of stuff we've bought from Fred. Records, collectibles, posters, autographs, probably 3 box trailers full that we hadn't moved yet, that we've already bought and paid for. They've been stored in his house and garage. And we kind of told her the last time we moved stuff, we couldn't come back for a while because we didn't have the space to store it. And we started talking today. We're about to go to Fred's and get more posters and prints. Fred was also in the photo business. He was an entrepreneur, to say the least. And he dealt in stuff like this. And probably if you've been to antique malls or flea markets anywhere across the South or Texas or even out west, Fred dealt in movie photos. And he had the rights to reprint a lot of them. He had some that were autographed, like reproduction autographed. So one of his best sellers is a picture of Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday, and it's autographed. It says, "I'll be your Huckleberry." Val Kilmer actually signed it, and he has the original of that. I don't think we've got it yet. And then he would make copies and sell them as reproductions in like antique malls. He would sell them to people wholesale. We pretty much bought his inventory. We have thousands and thousands of these photographs. He's also got them of like Johnny Cash and all kinds of country and western stars, movie stars, Elvis, Bob Dylan. And so if you've ever seen that says like, "I'll be your Huckleberry," and it's signed by Val Kilmer, that's I think something that Fred got. He's reproduced that and sold it for years at flea markets and stuff. Of course, I think Val has signed a lot of them that way, but Fred has he has that business. It's called Concept Productions. But if you've been to a lot of flea markets, antique stores over the past 20 years, you've probably seen his photographs. And so we've got all that inventory still we have to move. So very cool. Okay, this is EX Plus condition. Star Wars, very clean. It is EX Plus condition. EX Plus condition. This is Star Wars, the original soundtrack from the 20th Century Fox film, Star Wars. It has the Japanese insert with it, and it also has this cover with Obi. So this one, very nice. It does have a little bit of wear down here in the corner. The Obi shows a little bit of foxing. The vinyl's about EX. It's nice though. The original Star Wars, Episode 4. At the time, it was called Star Wars. Now we know it as Episode 4, New Hope. That's a $45 start. Price on Porgy. Porgy and Bess, Joe, was $9.99. Bernie, Joe, if you don't want it, it is sold to Bernie Johnson. So, let's see. And before that, Kyle Gregory wanted KR. I think I missed something there. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I didn't. Kyle Gregory wanted KR. What was KR, Kyle? I don't think I've pulled that yet. Kenny Rogers, possibly. So Porgy and Bess is sold possibly to Joe or Bernie, and then Kyle Gregory got Kenny Rogers. I'm going to lay that up there next. And then Paul Stanley next, Kyle Gregory, Kenny Rogers. Paul Stanley next. Yes, I'll do that now. Does this have a price on it, Tanner? This here? I think these size, Brent, are $14.99. This is $14.99, I'm pretty sure. So $14.99 on that. Bernie, you were second on the Hank Jones. So $14.99 on that. Yes, Paul Stanley. Let's take a look at Paul Stanley. $45 start on Star Wars. $45 start on Star Wars, and let's show what Paul Stanley looks like. Paul Stanley's solo album is also going to be a $65 start. Paul Stanley has the vinyl, which is near mint and pristine. We would hope it has the vinyl with it. That's near mint and pristine. I've already looked at that one. And here's what you want to see, right? Just like with Led Zeppelin. Here's what you want to see. The original Japanese die-cut poster, almost like a puzzle piece, Paul Stanley. And that is near mint. Has some spots of foxing on the back. Nothing on the inside of the poster. $65 start. So near mint minus vinyl. It has the poster. It has the Japanese insert. It has the original inner sleeve. This is complete. $65 start. Paul Stanley with Obi. $65 start. Star Wars is a $45 start. This is sold to Brent for $14.99. Clint Eastwood. Whenever we get all that from Fred, I'm probably going to start figuring out how to sell it, but I have a feeling a lot of y'all are going to want those photographs. Steve Merkel's at $45 on Star Wars. Next in the bin, we're still in new arrivals. I'll stop talking. I just wanted to get y'all an update about Fred. I know a lot of y'all ask quite often. Doc Severinsen, Fever. Doc Severinsen is a quadraphonic pressing. Doc Severinsen, Fever, $9.99. The Temptations, All Directions. The Temptations is in shrink wrap, $14.99. Jared's in on Paul Stanley at $65. Steve's in on Star Wars at $45. The Spectacular Johnny Horton, $9.99. Columbia 6-Eye, near mint. The Spectacular Johnny Horton. Brent Robley wants Doc Severinsen. That's sold to Brent. Willie Nelson, Yesterday's Wine, $29.99. This is a 1980 Indianapolis press of Willie Nelson. Yesterday's Wine, Best Buy series, $29.99. 1980 Indianapolis press on that one. I can tell this stuff's from Wisconsin because of the inner sleeves and the condition. Nice records here. Little River Band's Greatest Hits, $9.99 for Little River Band. Stanley Turrentine, Let It Go on Impulse, 1972 press, $29.99. Stanley Turrentine, Let It Go, that is $29.99. Midnight Cowboy, under John Barry's supervision, Everybody's Talking, sung by Nielsen, 1999. Terry Melcher, Royal Flush, 1999 for Terry Melcher. And Bob Seger, Live Bullet, 2LP, the Essential Live album from Seger, Live Bullet, $29.99. All right, time for some final calls. I need to. 45 on Star Wars, 65 on Paul Stanley. Final call. We're about to sell those. We have Swing Set, Life Speeds Up, $19.99. Swing Set, Life Speeds Up, $19.99. Hold the Phone on Paul Stanley, Eddie Manning's at $66. Steppenwolf, At Your Birthday Party, $19.99 for Steppenwolf, At Your Birthday Party. Styx, The Grand Illusion. Styx, The Grand Illusion, nice copy, $19.99 on Styx, The Grand Illusion. Chicago 17 is $12.99. Jonathan Berg wants Little River Band's Greatest Hits. That was righty here or righty there. What happened to it? Right there. That's sold to Jonathan Berg. The Best of Rod Stewart, Volume 2. Let's say this is in the wrong way. Best of Rod Stewart, Volume 2 is $26.99. Best of Rod Stewart, Volume 2, $26.99. Star Wars is at $47. I was about to put up 2 fresh auctions. Having trouble speaking. My allergies are really bothering me. We have new bidders on both auctions. Steve Merkel and Jared were the high bidders. We have 2 new high bidders now. Tanner says he's got to fix my mute button. Tanner says I'm sniffling and chugging water, and he's got to get me muted so y'all don't have to hear that. Jackson Brown, Lawyers in Love, $14.99. And Ted Nugent, Intensities in 10 Cities, $14.99. So Star Wars is at $47. Craig Johnson wants Rod Stewart, Every Picture Tells a Story. Steve Merkel's at $50 on Star Wars. And Jared Benoit, You're Out on Paul Stanley. Greatest Hits from the Jukebox. This also has Big City by Merle Haggard. He Stopped Loving Her Today, George Jones, and Heartbroke by Ricky Skaggs, $14.99. That's in shrink wrap. Elvis on Stage, February 1970. A 1970 Rockaway press. 1970 Rockaway press. Orange label in shrink wrap. Elvis, $19.99 on Stage. U2, The Unforgettable Fire in shrink wrap. Original inner sleeve. I couldn't recommend it enough. U2 is $34.99. The Unforgettable Fire. The Sandpipers Greatest Hits. $9.99 on the Sandpipers Greatest Hits. And Tracks, Oscar Peterson Piano Solo, $14.99. The high bid on Paul Stanley is $66 with Eddie Manning. $66 with Eddie Manning. The high bid on Star Wars is $51. Burt Jordan wants Elvis on Stage. Steve Merkel's at $52 on Star Wars. And Charlie Rich, The Fool Strikes Again. Charlie Rich is $9.99. And the Cars, looks like a really nice copy of Candy O with the original inner sleeve, $26.99. $26.99. Okay, so Star Wars is the original motion picture soundtrack. It's a 2LP with the Japanese insert with Obi. High bid on that right now is $52 with Steve Merkel. The vinyl is about EX Plus, has a couple stray marks on it, still very nice though. And then Paul Stanley, the vinyl was near mint minus and pristine, original insert, original inner sleeve, and it does have the poster. It does have the poster. High bid on Paul Stanley is $70 now, and the high bid on Star Wars is $55. Here's what's left in this bin. Here's what's left in this bin. One more time. We have Rod Stewart, Absolutely Live. Jerry Lee Lewis, Rock and Rhythm Blues. The Secret Value of Daydreaming by Julian Lennon. Patti Smith, Dream of Life, Madonna, Like a Virgin, Blood Rock Passage, a German pressing, Conway by Conway Twitty, Randy Newman, self-titled, Spyro Gyra, Morning Dance, Buddy Miles and Carlos Santana, Introducing the Beatles, Santana Festival, Rare Earth, Midnight Lady, Roy Eldridge, The Temptations, All Directions, The Spectacular, Johnny Horton, Willie Nelson, Yesterday's Wine. Stanley Turrentine is a 1972 press. Let It Go, ABC Impulse, very clean vinyl, $29.99, Chris Ferrara. Jonathan Berg wants the Rod Stewart Live. Paul Stanley's at 71. Star Wars is at 56. Midnight Cowboy soundtrack. Terry Melcher, Royal Flush. Bob Seger, Live Bullet. This was Swing Set, Life Speeds Up. Steppenwolf at Your Birthday Party. Styx, The Grand Illusion, Chicago 17. The Best of Rod Stewart Volume 2. Jackson Browne, Lawyers in Love. Ted Nugent, Intensities in 10 Cities, Greatest Hits from the Jukebox, U2, The Unforgettable Fire, The Sandpipers' Greatest Hits, Tracks, Oscar Peterson Piano Solo, Charlie Rich and the Cars, Candy O. We have somebody out on Star Wars. Steve Merkel's at 56 and Tony Riddle's at out. Paul Stanley's at 71 with Eddie Manning and Jared Benoit's at 75. So Eddie, you're back out on Paul Stanley, and Frank Galena, The Cars is $26.99. $26.99. You should buy it. You should definitely buy it. Okay, let's start back to the beginning of the crate. Let's go back to the beginning of the show. If anybody else wants anything in there, please let me know. Let me figure out the very first crate we went through. There was the last crate we went through. Let me move all that up front. And then that's the crate we went through before that. So let me do some condensing there. Let me do a little bit condensing there with those two. Let's do some. We love condensing. That means we're emptying some crates out. There's an empty crate. I think this was the very first bin we went through. Yep. And that was what was before that, I think. Yep. And there's an empty bin. There wasn't but just one crate of new vinyl. We actually had about two, but that's how many pre-orders we had. So Paul Stanley's at 76, Eddie Manning. Paul Stanley's at 76, so Jared, you're back out. And Frank says he thinks he bought it from me last week. You can never go wrong with having two. Chris Ferrara says he'll take the Stanley Turrentine. Stanley Turrentine is sold. That's this. I can find it pretty quickly because these Impulse records have very big gatefolds on them. Stanley Turrentine is sold to Chris Ferrara. And Steve says, please sell the auction. Yes. Star Wars is sold to Steve Merkel for $56. That's sold for $56 to Steve Merkel. Now, we're still bidding on this. I'm sure Jared Benoit is still going to bid, but we'll see. He may be out. Eddie Manning's at $76. Chris Ferrara got that. We have another. Let's see. We have Paul Stanley. I guess that means we can do just Kiss. This is Kiss, Music from the Elder. It's a Japanese press, no obi. Yes, it is a Japanese press, no obi. Japanese press, no obi. Just a $35 start. Kiss, Music from the Elder. Jared's back in on Paul Stanley at 78. Near mint, minus, and pristine. Your typical, beautiful copy. Music from the Elder, Japanese press. $35 start. There's the vinyl. It does have the Japanese insert with it. Nice jacket. Nice jacket. And I would consider that a great starting price for a nice, high-quality copy of Music from the Elder. Without the obi. With the obi. The obi for this was actually a full-page deal that kind of wrapped around the cover. And I think y'all know we've sold those for $100 plus. No obi, or no obi sheet, I guess you could call it. Nice, clean copy. $35 start. Kiss, Music from the Elder. Paul Stanley was at 78, now 79. So the very first crate we went through, we had the new Eric Clapton Unplugged, $44.99. We were talking about that. The best-selling live album of all time, $44.99 for Eric Clapton Unplugged. I have 4 copies left. I had a pre-order for that as well, and we've sold a couple copies tonight. We have 2 copies left of Red Hot Chili Peppers' Mother's Milk. Mother's Milk is $38.99 from the Capitol Vaults, restored Red Hot Chili Peppers. Last copy of Depeche Mode, get this while you can. This is Music for the Masses, $33.99. Last copy, or only copy, of Tori Amos, Under the Pink, $39.99. Wham! The Singles, Wham's Greatest Hits, Echoes from the Edge of Heaven, $46.99. Another Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes, $44.99. The only Radiohead we have left from here, I think we have a couple more left in the bins, but this is Hail to the Thief, $46.99. Wolfgang Van Halen, that's Mammoth, indie exclusive Black Ice vinyl, $36.99, and Motorhead Overkill, $26.99. Paul Stanley was at $78, Paul Stanley $79, Kiss $35, Kiss $36, Paul Stanley $80, Kiss $37. So that was the new vinyl. Not a whole lot in there. Just wanted to remind you of those. Now we're going to go back to the first crate that we showed tonight. And I will entertain very fair offers, okay? So if there was something and like you refuse to pay $14.99, but you will pay $14.50, I'll probably sell it to you. Kiss is at $37. Kiss is at $39. Eddie says he's out on Paul Stanley. Paul Stanley's now at $80 with Jared Benoit. Final call. And Kiss is at $39 with Burt Jordan. Let's see what we have in here. The Blend, Anytime Delight. The Blend is EX, $9.99. Under the Pink by Tori Amos was $39.99. 2LP, a 2LP remaster. The Blend, Anytime Delight, EX, $9.99. Kind of surprised this is still here. Jim Croce, The Faces I've Been. VG Plus, $14.99. Kiss is at $40 with Brent Robley. Burt Jordan, You're Out. Stephen Stills Manassas, Down the Road. VG Plus, $16.99. Stephen Stills Manassas. Romeo and Juliet, VG Plus, $11.99. The Best of Tim Harden, EX copy, $12.99. Van Morrison Wavelength is EX, $21.99. Van Morrison Wavelength. Spooky Tooth Witness, EX, $14.99. Spooky Tooth Witness, EX, $14.99. Little Feet, Down on the Farm. Little Feet is EX, $17.99. So far, I'm really surprised Little Feet's still there. Spooky Tooth and the Jim Croce, for sure. Mama's Pride, Uptown and Lowdown, EX, $12.99. Let's sell Jonathan Berg, Jim Croce for $12. Paul Stanley is sold to Jared Benoit. Jared Benoit gets that for $80, the Paul Stanley album. Brent Robley's at $40 on Kiss, going once, going twice. Ian Matthews is a VG Plus, $9.99. John Duran wants Romeo and Juliet, but before that, Jesse made an offer on it. Jesse, if you want that for $11.99, it's yours. If not, it's sold to John Duran. So your call. Aurora, All My Demons, Greeting Me as a Friend. Aurora is VG Plus, $49.99. The reason it's VG Plus is because it has one stray mark on it. And other than that, it's a very nice copy. All right, I do have another Star Wars soundtrack. And it's, once again, Episode 4. It's a different version, though. It's got a different obi. It's a different pressing. This is Star Wars. It's also a $45 start. Very nice copy. Whoever was bidding on the others, here's another chance. It's a little bit different version. This is on RSO Roadshow label. RSO Roadshow. The vinyl on this is Near Mint Minus and Pristine. This is Near Mint Minus, Pristine, Star Wars. Both discs are super nice. Jesse said will take Romeo and Juliet at full price. Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher. There's the original Japanese insert. Also, really nice cover. Gatefold, $45 on that. Burt Jordan's out on Kiss. Final call. Brent Robley has that for $40 then. And Tawana said she'd give $11 for Spooky Tooth. Sell that to Tawana Bennett for $11. Spooky Tooth Witness. Michael Bublé, To Be Loved. EX Condition, $19.99. EX Condition, $19.99. Climax, Chicago Blues Band, A Lot of Bottle. EX Condition, $31.99. Climax, Chicago Blues Band. That is Climax Blues Band, just an early album. The Great Speckled Bird, VG Plus, $14.99. Produced by Todd Rundgren, VG Plus, $14.99. Sonny Rollins, Horn Culture. This is EX, $17.99. Sonny Rollins, Horn Culture. John Smetzer, I will sell you Michael Bublé for $17 if you want that. $17. Stevie Wonder, Intervisions, VG Plus, $24.99. Surprised this is still here. VG Plus, $24.99 on Stevie Wonder, Intervisions. Let's go ahead and sell Kiss, Music from the Elder. That is sold to Brent Robley for $40. We're looking for a $45 start on the Star Wars soundtrack. Star Wars soundtrack, Japanese press. We have The Great Kai and JJ, VG copy, $21.99. The Great Kai and JJ, VG on that one. Gene Ammons and Sonny Stitt together again for the last time. EX condition, $16.99. What I'd say, Ray Charles, this was VG Plus, $12.99. What I'd say, Ray Charles, VG Plus, $12.99. Freddie Hubbard Skylark is EX, $17.99 for Freddie Hubbard Skylark. And Steve Young, Renegade Picker, VG Plus, $17.99. 1976 U.S. Press with original inner sleeve. Fred Neal, Bleecker and McDougal, that is EX, $24.99. This is a 2001 Sundazed reissue. EX, $24.99 on that. Ray Charles, The Genius Hits the Road, EX condition, $12.99 for The Genius Hits the Road, EX $12.99. And Hank Jones, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams, VG Plus, $21.99 on that. Hank Jones, Ron Carter, Tony Williams. Ramblin' with Mose Allison, EX $32.99. That is an original 61 US mono. Original 61 US mono. The Beach Boys Pet Sounds is still sticking around. That's a 66 mono Scranton press. Plays with Snap, Crackle, and Pop. No skips. VG $74.99. John Smetzer, let me know if you wanted the Michael Bublé for $17. I'm assuming you were passing, but if you do want that, let me know. Sean McNeil wants Carter. Let me figure out what Carter was. I don't have anything in here with the name Carter. John says he was going to pass. Joe Newman, Joe's Happenings. That's a VG Plus, $49.99. That's a 61 stereo. Cannonball Adderley Takes Charge, and that's a VG Plus, $64.99. 59 mono. 59 mono. This is a VG Plus, $64.99. 1959 mono. That was Ron Carter. Ron Carter. This here, Hank Jones, Ron Carter, and Tony Williams. That's VG Plus, $21.99. That's sold to Sean McNeil. If anybody wants the Star Wars soundtrack, it's a $45 buy it now. $45 buy it now on the Star Wars Japanese soundtrack. Surprised nobody's already bid. Hopefully somebody will do the buy it now. Condition on Cannonball Adderley. Bottom seam, absolutely fine. The spine, really nice. Top seam has a light crackle up here. We'll go ahead and pull the record out so it's shipped behind the cover. It also has a little bit of a ding corner right here. Has a little bit of a ding corner. Looks like it's got smushed, unfortunately, at one time or another. Nice front and nice back. Almost no signs of wear on the back. Cannonball Adderley. Blue Riverside, 59 mono, VG Plus on that. Mark Lentz says he would give 55. Right now, we've got Mark Cunningham on dibs. I got it as a VG Plus, $64.99. Mark, you have already been heavily outbid. You have dibs, Mark Lentz at 55. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll just lay it back here and we'll think about it for a second. We have a $40 offer and a $55 offer. Sherry Darnell wants Ray Charles, Genius Hits the Road. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. Shadow Waltz, Sonny Rollins. That's a VG Plus, $27.99. Originally titled Freedom Suite, probably 60s or 70s pressing. It's a mono reissue. VG Plus, $27.99. Buddy Miles, Live. That's a 2LP. VG Plus, $17.99 for Buddy Miles Live. Hard Love, I Need to Breathe. That is EX, $27.99. We have Aurora, Infections of a Different Kind. That is sealed, $169.99. Barcode matches red vinyl, $169. I'll do 56. This is like the Price is Right. $1 more. My price on Cannonball Adderley is $60. What a nice copy. Mark, you can have it for $60. If you pass, Mark Lent. We got two Marks. Mark Cunningham, $60. If not, Mark Lent, $60. How could you say no? Mark said he'll take it. Mark Lent, he asked about that just before you. I think y'all were both waiting for that to come back around. Mark got it. That is the 1975, or this is the 1975. That is sealed, $44.99. 2016 clear vinyl, $44.99. The Chainsmokers Collage, that's also sealed from 2017 on white vinyl. That is $41.99. Panic at the Disco, $74.99. The Band Camino, yellow with black splatter, $39.99. Brent Robley wants the 1975. That's sold to Brent. 21 Pilots Vessel, that's the debut album from 21 Pilots. Sealed, $29.99 on clear vinyl. Coldplay, A Rush of Blood to the Head, also sealed, $31.99. And Hans Zimmer, The Classics, that's a film score compilation from Hans Zimmer. Dark Knight Rises, Pirates of the Caribbean, Gladiator, Lion King, Interstellar, Man of Steel, Inception. That is $24.99. Nice recap bin there. We have Hans Zimmer, Coldplay, 21 Pilots is sold to Sherry Darnell. The Band Camino, Panic at the Disco, The Chainsmokers, Aurora, Hard Love, Buddy Miles, Sonny Rollins, Joe Newman, The Beach Boys, Mose Allison, Fred Neil, Steve Young, Freddie Hubbard. I'll pause there and just say, if you're holding out for a nicer copy of the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds, you may also be holding out to be paying 2 or 3 times as much. I mean, if you do want like a stunning near mint copy of this, I probably wouldn't sell one for less than $250. The VG copy we had last time sounded really great. We sold it for $74.99 as well. So if you're like, VG, if you're like wanting this, but just FYI, unless you get really lucky somewhere, really lucky, if you do find a true near mint minus copy of this, they are not cheap anymore. Sherry Darnell wants the Chainsmokers Collage. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. We got to Ray Charles, Gene Ammons, Kai and JJ, Stevie Wonder, Sonny Rollins, Great Speckled Bird, Climax Chicago Blues Band, Michael Bublé, another Aurora, Ian Matthews, Mama's Pride, Little Feat, Van Morrison, Tim Hardin, Manassas, and The Blend. I think we got another bin to recap. Star Wars Japanese soundtrack, $45 buy now. Near mint, Obi, and Insert, $45 buy it now. Also, the only other thing that did not sell tonight was the Armageddon soundtrack. That was $150 buy it now. Armageddon. Numbered, red vinyl, $150, $150. VG cleaned it. Yeah, the last couple I had are VG. That's a tough album to find in high grade. Usually if we do have a copy of Pet Sounds, it is unfortunately probably a VG or VG+. We've had some nice copies before, and I think we've auctioned them for, I think we had one bring one night over, $300 one night. It may have even been in shrink wrap, maybe from that Wisconsin collection or Pennsylvania. I think I had one from the Pennsylvania Horde. That was some good stuff. Anthony Riddle said 45 SW. What was, Star Wars, Anthony Riddle. That sold to Anthony Riddle. $45. That was another copy we had. That is sold. So all the Japanese stuff we had pulled for tonight is gone. Armageddon. We'll do another bin of recaps here, possibly our last crate of the night. Let me see what else I got over here in the bin. I got some Metallica posters. These are promotional posters. We got we got them after the album came out. But if anybody wants one, I'll put it in a sleeve for you. $6.99. These are promotional Record Store Day official posters. Not Record Store Day, but Record Store, like you could hang these in a record store. That has nothing to do with Record Store Day. They're Metallica 72 Seasons posters. $6.99. $6.99. I've got 4 of them if anybody wants them. $6.99. I'm going to put them in a sleeve just like this for you. If anybody wants a Metallica poster, stash that away of your album. That's a poster they sent to record stores to display, and we got them after the album came out, so we couldn't do much with it. I was going to hang one in the window, but it's too late. We got them after it already been released. So $6.99. David Hugh I wants to know about the Sonny Rollins. Let me show that to you, David. Sorry if I butchered your last name. I'm famously known for not saying last names. You can just pull one out of there. That's, Tanner's got that. Shadow Waltz, Sonny Rollins, is VG Plus condition, $27.99. Originally titled Freedom Suite, probably 60s or 70s. It's a mono reissue. Sonny Rollins, mono reissue, $27.99. $27.99. Jeff H. gets a poster, Stephen Chesney gets a poster, and Jared Benoit wants a poster. I have one left. They're $6.99. Found those behind the counter last night. Forgot we had them. John Coltrane. It's a Blue Note Tone Poet single LP mono remaster. $37.99. Blue Chain, John Coltrane. Near mint, $37.99. Roxy Music is $26.99. That's Roxy Music Stranded. $26.99 on Roxy Music. Pinkard and Bowden. Gold stamp promo with this hop sticker. $14.99. Red Wing, What This Country Needs, is a promo copy, $14.99. The fourth poster goes to Craig Ruth. That's so to Craig Ruth. Metallica. Brian Ferry, Let's Stick Together. Brian Ferry is $17.99. Brian Ferry, Let's Stick Together. Michael Nesmith, Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma. Michael Nesmith is $14.99. We have T. Talton, B. Stewart, and Jay Sandlin, Happy to Be Alive, $14.99. Let's sell Nigel Del Rocket, the Nesmith, for $10. That's odd to Nigel Del Rocket. $28 for Coltrane. Fred Carnell, my price on this would be $35. Coltrane would be $35. Ronnie Montrose, Open Fire, $14.99 for Ronnie Montrose. Mama's Pride, $17.99 on Mama's Pride. Saint Cloud, I don't know if I've said the name of the artist tonight. Waxahachie, limited edition blue and red vinyl, numbered 906 to 1000, $39.99. Walk the Moon. Walk the Moon is sealed for $23.99. Walk the Moon. Maroon 5, it won't be soon before long. Maroon 5 is sealed, $34.99. Bouquet, the Chainsmokers. Chainsmokers is sealed from 2016, $49.99. Need to Breathe, Rivers in the Wasteland. Need to Breathe is sealed, $26.99. Brent, I have already sold Nesmith to Nigel Del Rocket. The Motown Story, 58 Golden Hits, 5 LP box set, $49.99 for the Motown Story box set. 30 Seconds to Mars, This Is War, sealed, $99.99. 2009 pressed with CD and ticket stub, $99.99. $99.99, $100 minus a cent. Barbara Mandrell, After All These Years, that's $14.99, a Cracker Barrel exclusive compilation. Santa Esmeralda, starring Leroy Gomez, $9.99. Thank God It's Friday, $64.99. Thank God It's Friday, $64.99. $64.99 on Thank God It's Friday. The Steve Gibbons Band, $14.99. Any Road Up, Steve Gibbons Band. Dave Grusin, Mountain Dance, $9.99. DFK, that's Les Dudek. That's the Dudek Finnegan Kruger Band, $9.99. Al Stewart, Year of the Cat, $16.99. Santana's Greatest Hits is still available. Santana's Greatest Hits, $19.99. Also, Men at Work, Business as Usual, $24.99. Billy Joel and Innocent Man, $14.99. Shriekback, that's a three-track 12-inch single, $14.99. Three-Way Records, that's MC Boob, Do the Fila and the Pee-wee Dance, $12.99 from 1986. Mick Greenwood, Living Game, $12.99. Sinatra, Frank Sinatra, The Trilogy, $34.99. That's a triple LP Sinatra compilation. 10 Years After What is $19.99, and 10 Years After Shh is $19.99. Songs for Sinners, Rusty Warren, $9.99. Vanilla Fudge, Near the Beginning, $19.99. Do What You Gotta Do, Bobby V, $9.99. John Mayall, Memories, $24.99. Little Girl, Syndicate of Sound, $34.99. John Prine, Pink Cadillac, that is a 1979 white label promo. 79 white label promo, gold stamp on the front too, $39.99. Queen Jazz is $34.99. Queen Jazz is a gatefold with the original inner sleeve and near mint minus vinyl, $34.99. The Believers is $24.99 in shrink wrap. Synergy Metropolitan Suite, $9.99. Judy Seal, $149.99, white label on Asylum. Switched on Bach is $14.99. Donna Summer Breakaway 12-inch single, $9.99. Bad Company Run with the Pack is $16.99. Fred offered 10 for Shriekback. That's sold to Fred Carnell. Santa Esmeralda 2 is $9.99. The Winter Brothers Band is $9.99. And Charlie Rich, The Early Years, is $9.99. I don't know if Jeannie's on with us any longer, but she offered earlier $14.99 for both of these Shriekback, or for both of these Santa Esmeralda records. And I'm going to go ahead and pull those four because I don't think anybody else is interested. So I'll sell those to Jeannie Pinnell for $14.99. Nick Bargeron offered $22.99 for JP. You are a little off on that. That is $37 if you want that Nick Bargeron. And if anybody else wants anything in here, please let me know, because that was the last crate. And that was the final call for anything in there. $85 for 30 Seconds to Mars. James Bragg, I'll sell that to you for $90. That's a 10% off discount. I've sold this thing twice tonight. And then it was put back. One person, I guess they both already had it, but I will sell it to you for $90. I thought I've had it sold twice tonight for $100, but James, I will sell that to you for $90. He said sold. Before that is Chuck Will says, I want that one with the Pee-wee dance. I'm not for sure what that is. Jeff McMaster offered $9.99 for Switched on Bach. That is sold to Jeff McMaster. Let me find the Bach album. That's sold to Jeff for $9.99. Let's sell John Prine to Nick Bargeron for $35. That's sold to Nick Bargeron for $35. Is the Ray Charles and the other guy record still available? Ray Charles and Milt Jackson, no, that's already sold. James Bragg said sold on 30 Seconds for $90. Good night, everyone. Pee-wee was this right here. Pee-wee. This was Three-Way Records, MC Boob, Do the Fila, and the Pee-wee Dance. That is $12.99. Who wanted this? Chuck Wilson? $12.99. I think Chuck Wilson wants that. Sean McNeil wants Blue Train. That was $35. I told Fred Carnell $35. I'm assuming Fred's passing. If he is, that's sold to Sean McNeil. And did I miss anything else? Tommy Flowers is the Ray Charles and Other Guy record still available. We had a Ray Charles and Milt Jackson Japanese pressing. That sold at auction. And the only other Ray Charles I have left is the What I'd Say, one of his studio albums. Jackie offered $7 for Charlie Rich. That sold. Fred passed on Coltrane, so they just sold to Sean McNeil for $35. Anybody else? Winter Brothers, Bad Company, Donna Summer, Judy Seal, Synergy, The Believers, Queen, Syndicate of Sound, John Mayall, Bobby V, Vanilla Fudge, Rusty Warren. All the Neck Deep are gone. Yes, 10 years after. I think I got those in stock, though. I've got new reissues of Neck Deep albums on colored vinyl. I don't know where they're at. They may even be in the in section, but I know we have those available. Also see Kiss Ace Frehley for $33.99. Who needs an Ace Frehley solo album for $33.99? I still got the Scorpions reissues on colored vinyl. I've got Joy Division and New Order's Greatest Hits, Live Throwing Copper, Beck Odelay, Black Flag, Cinderella, X, Black Sabbath, Soundgarden, Scorpions, Judas Priest, Creedence, Depeche Mode, Chris Stapleton, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Metallica, the Pixies, White Zombie, the Archies, Iron Maidens. There's Neck Deep. Yep, I knew we had at least one. Two. Tanner's got us two here. We have 2 copies of Neck Deep, The Peace and the Panic. We got these back in May 2nd and May 3rd. That's on neon green vinyl. Those are $28.99. $28.99, Sean. I still have those. Those are new copies. Oingo Boingo. John, I saw your comment earlier, but I haven't been here to pull those for you. Here's what I have in stock with Oingo Boingo. I have Nothing to Fear, Good for Your Soul, and I also have copies of Only a Lad still available. I also have copies of Only a Lad. So I think you want these two for sure, John Ambrozic, and let me know if you also want Only a Lad. That is $28.99 as well. And I also have that triple LP Oingo Boingo Live. I also have that as well. John says he'll take those two. So those are both sold to John Ambrosic. Next comment was 22 for Sonny Rollins, David Hugh. David, I'm going to go ahead and sell that to you for a couple reasons. One, it's late and you're the only one that's made an offer on it. And two, I think you're a first-time buyer. So any chance I get to sell something to a first-time buyer, I'm going to do it. So David, that's sold to you for $22. Thank you and welcome. Make sure you message our page, David. That's this page. We are known as CollectCo on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you send us a Facebook message with your email address and mailing address. Now, the good thing is you have now unlocked $7 in limited shipping, meaning, well, tonight's show is pretty much over, but unless you buy something else. We're going to be doing this again tomorrow, which is Thursday. We're also doing it Friday and Saturday. You can tune in for $7 unlimited shipping as much as you want to buy. We'll be doing the same thing. We'll do it tomorrow from like 7 to 11 or midnight. And we'll also do it Friday and Saturday from 7 to 11 or midnight. $7 in limited shipping. And we have, if you're into jazz, we usually have some kind of jazz every night. We also have rock, pop, country, soul, soundtracks, metal, and even Pink Floyd, if that's what you're looking for. John got both of the Oingo Boingos. James Bragg wants a neck deep. I now have one left. That's neck deep, the Peace and the Panic on neon green vinyl. If anybody else wants that, $28.99. Any thrill, kill, cult lurking around. I do not have any thrill, kill, cult. Also, make sure you join our group, David, our new buyer, David, and anybody else. Make sure you're in our group. I haven't posted a lot of pre-orders in the last 48 hours. I posted a Joan Jett pre-order today, and I posted a Music on Vinyl 90s Alternative Collected. Let me show everybody that because I'm really surprised we haven't had more pre-orders. It may have just been a bad time I posted it. But here's a new collected coming out from Music on Vinyl. Oh, yeah, did I pin it? Yeah. 90s Alternative Collected. 90s Alternative Collected on pink vinyl. Artists such as Weezer, Oasis, Nick Cave, Eels, Urban Dance Squad, R.E.M., Soundgarden, Blind Melon, Smash Mouth, Iggy Pop, Cracker, Faith No More. If anybody wants on that pre-order, make sure you join our group for that. Do you happen to have any NVE Nation on vinyl? I do not. I don't think I've ever had them. I thought you posted Danzig Black. Yes, Danzig. I posted a Danzig pre-order, Joan Jett, and that hip-hop compilation. There's a new hip-hop compilation that's coming out. So that's it for tonight. I had that last crate, but that was that last crate we showed, so it's pretty recent on your minds anyway. We've went through a lot of records. We've sold a lot of records to be starting at 9 o'clock. We've been live for 2.5 hours. We're going to call it a night. I'm going to get started on new stuff for tomorrow. I'm going to listen to some records. We're going to work on some... I got all of my business stuff done last night. I was here. Me and Tanner left at like 8 o'clock this morning. That's why I had trouble sleeping. So hopefully I can hit the gym a little earlier tonight and then actually get some normal rest so I can be here at 5 o'clock tomorrow to get this show started. Paul may be here to start the show early tomorrow night, right, Tanner? Paul may start at 6 o'clock tomorrow. I'll try to announce that if it's official, but as y'all know, Paul's been starting the shows a little early on Thursday. So tomorrow we actually may be live at 6 o'clock, and Paul will have new vinyl, and then he'll be from 6 to 7, and then sometime around 7, I'll take the mic and we'll get started. So we'll definitely be started at 7 or earlier tomorrow, probably earlier than 7. So just be anticipating that. We probably won't get into any new vintage arrivals until 7 or after, but he will definitely be doing early looks at new vinyl. So if you're interested in new vinyl, that will be at 7 or earlier. So Jamie Butler, I have not, but I haven't looked for it really. I haven't looked for it yet. Sorry about that. I flipped through about 4 crates last night, and I didn't have any luck. And sorry, after things are shown, sometimes they get condensed, and I have trouble finding stuff after sales. But I will try to find that for you tonight. Jamie Butler, the BB King live at the Regal. Let me look through this crate right here while I got you on the line. Wow, there's some great records in this bin. How did this stuff not sell? Oh my gosh, I don't think we've ever been through this one. It's Pink Floyd, Grateful Dead, Led Zeppelin's, Bob Dylan's, and a couple compilations, first few records. I'll have to find that, Jamie. Sorry for the delay, but I think things can get shifted. Let me flip through this one over here. After the sale ends, sometimes there's no telling. I've misplaced records before for a week, but if I don't find it by tomorrow, we'll just get it on a new invoice when we find it. But if you don't find it by tomorrow, then it's up to you. You can go ahead and pay the invoice, or we'll get it on a new one when we find it. I'll try to find it tonight, though. Listen to Dynasty. Yeah, I need to listen to Dynasty and Stevie Wonder and these Archie's 45s. So, all right, thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6 or 7. 6 with Paul, 7 with Chad.